This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network Limited. We broadcast from our studios at 14 Ocean Boulevard in the Digicel Center, downtown Kingston, Jamaica, transmitting on the FM 90 band, 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne, serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew and parts of St. Thomas, and 90.7 from Cooper's Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James, serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcast on YouTube at Nationwide 90 FM Live and on Flow at Channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tona Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Monday, August 17, 2026. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness gives a fresh commitment to boost the efficiency of government processes. Countries should know JT's position on government's latest wage offer by Wednesday. MP for North Trelawney says the team, which recently demolished homes in Cooper's Pen, does intend to return to complete the exercise. In regional news, St. Lucia signs a third country nationals MOU with the United States. In international news, Trump orders Pentagon to cut back military exercises with South Korea. In sports, Sport Minister announces scholarship in honor of Frano. And in business, Ferrari's first ever electric car sold for a record $40 million. The details after the break.
Looking for your dream home, investment property, or that perfect piece of land? At Real Estate by Noel Jamaica Limited, there's something for everyone, from luxury villas and modern apartments to family homes and residential lots. So, whether you're buying, selling, or investing, trust the professionals. Trust Real Estate by Noel. Contact us today at 876-672-2102 or visit our website at realestatebynoel.com or email us at office@rebnoel.com. Real Estate by Noel, your window to Jamaica's finest real estate.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has given a fresh commitment that his administration will make the necessary changes to boost the efficiency of government processes. The Prime Minister was speaking last week at the Permanent Secretary Board retreat at Sandals Otrius in St. Anne. Mahira Stewart has that story.
For years, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has championed efficiency as a characteristic that the government under his leadership should strive for in all areas. While addressing his audience of permanent secretaries, Dr. Holness revealed that his administration will adjust government processes to erase any aspects that make them unnecessarily slow.
We are responsible for changing the inefficient processes. And there has been, I must confess, some fear, which has led to some reluctance in touching the existing legislative and institutional frameworks that exist. Let me assure you, I have no such fears. And I have been speaking about this now for more than a year. So I'm saying to the permanent secretaries who are gathered and the other technical officers that we are now at the point where we will be making changes to many of the institutional processes that have been established that are not serving us, that are slow, cumbersome, unnecessary, duplicative, and complicated.
The Prime Minister says changes are coming, but He called on the nation's permanent secretaries to work as efficiently as possible under the current system until the changes are introduced.
We will go through them and we will change them to more efficient processes that utilize greater technology that is available to make the systems work much faster. So we're not asking you to break the rules that exist. We're asking you to work faster within those rules, and where we can make those rules more relevant to the current situation, we will change them.
Last week, East Portland MP Isaac Buchanan, during a TikTok live, encouraged Jamaicans to falsely claim that their homes were damaged during the recent demolition exercise in Cooper's Pen. He called on the individuals to, quote, chop a line upon them, end quote, a well-known Jamaican euphemism for scamming. Prime Minister Holness made reference to that phrase while lamenting what he believes is the demonization of efficient processes.
In the minds of the public listening, whenever we talk about speed and getting things done, there is the assumption that you can only be speedy and effective if you somehow break the rules. So we're not here talking about breaking rules. But it says a lot about us as a people. If the only way we can be efficient and fast and getting things done at scale is if we break the rules, if we break the line, if we have to chop the line, as even some politicians are promoting now. It says a lot about the thinking of us as a people. If within institutions we can't work fast, and that the only way to work fast is to break the rules of the institution.
Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
The country should know by Wednesday the position of the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, on the latest wage offer tabled by the government. JTA President Mark Malava provided the update during an interview with our news center.
Yeah, I can confirm that we received a new offer from the government. We received that yesterday. We have been having a look at it, but we will submit it to our members on Tuesday or Wednesday for discussion and for a decision to be made.
Wage negotiations between the JTA and the Holness administration have again been protracted. Malava says the latest offer from the government is an improvement on the previous proposal.
The truth of the matter is it's very important. Teachers are anxious to have the matter resolved, but the teachers are also aware that the issue has continued to languish for a long time. The reality is that we have always maintained that we are not prepared to accept anything that is less than our value and our worth. Where we are now is that if the teachers don't accept the offer, then I cannot tell you what will come September. That will be a decision. That will be a decision for the members to determine. What I can say though is that the offer is an improved offer.
Mark Malava, president of the Jamaica Teachers Association. Now, the Member of Parliament for North Trelawney, Tova Hamilton, says that the team, which recently demolished homes in Cooper's Pen, does intend to return to complete the exercise. MP Hamilton gave the update while speaking with our news centre on Sunday.
Well, I can't speak about the plans yet because we're still assessing. But I do know that the entity that did the demolition on Tuesday is planning on coming back. So the people need somewhere to go. So I think that is where now we have to try to see how best we can help them with relocation.
Nationwide News has done an expose on the long-running legal battle, which resulted in the court ordering the property owner to reclaim their land. Our examination of the decisions of the courts have also found that those illegally occupying the land were ordered to vacate and remove all structures they built on the property. MP Hamilton says not all those who had their homes bulldozed as part of the demolition exercise are from Trelawney.
And I must also indicate that a number of the people that were demolished were not necessarily from Trelawney originally.
Tova Hamilton, Member of Parliament for Trelawney Northern. She was speaking during an interview with Nationwide News. Meanwhile, with the start of the new school term mere weeks away, MP Hamilton says she intends to assist students who were impacted by last Tuesday's demolition in Cooper's Pen.
Based on the information I gathered, it was probably about 7 or 8 children, some of them very young. So the 1 or 2 that may need back to school can get that support. So it wouldn't be a problem.
Tova Hamilton, MP for North Trelawney. Education Minister Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon says she is disappointed with the slow pace of rebuilding work at some schools in western Jamaica damaged by Hurricane Melissa. The minister was speaking last week at a leadership summit hosted by the Education Ministry in Region 3. Region 3 covers St. Anne and Trelawney.
I don't like going to a school and the principal not know and the VP not know. But I was going to look at where the repair is. The problem is when they hear I'm coming, everybody working. So yesterday I went unannounced to see whether or not there was work happening. And again, I say I was disappointed, big time, pleased with the status of much of the repairs. I am not pleased.
Last week, representatives of the ministry, including Minister Morris Dixon and State Minister Rhoda Moy Crawford, conducted an assessment tour of several schools in western Jamaica. The minister says over $5.5 billion are allocated to schools in Region 3 for rebuilding work.
What is disappointing is that I know I've worked with the team to push the Ministry of Finance to allocate the funds to education, and we got the funds allocated and we've done the contracts, but then we don't see the work finished. In terms of Hurricane Melissa reconstruction, and I know the RD would have spoken a bit about this, but in Region 3, the total for the 60 schools I have is $5.698 billion. It's a lot of money to repair the schools. 60 schools, $5.698 billion for Region 3 alone.
Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, Minister of Education. Meanwhile, State Minister of Education Rhoda Moy Crawford says the pace of work at two primary schools in South Trelawney, Wilson's Run and Albert Town, appear on track for completion by September.
I am very, very pleased with the progress and the scope of work being undertaken here at Wilson's Run. The contractor is here, the project officers are here, not just from the contractor's team, but from our National Education Trust team. It has been a good day. I would have mentioned earlier that there are works at Albertown Primary that I'm very pleased with. For example, the actual roofing, the electrical work undertaken, the installation of new ceiling fans, new lighting system, but we still have some work to do at Albertown Primary, and we have gotten some commitment that work will advance next week.
Rhoda Moy Crawford, State Minister of Education. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is making a fresh appeal this morning for family members of hospital patients to collect them once their care is complete. Patients who are no longer in need of acute medical care are referred to as social cases.
This is a long-standing issue that we have had in our hospitals, where between 5 to 10%, sometimes up to 15% of our hospital beds, particularly in the urban centers, places like Spanish Town, Sablamar, Cornwall Regional, are taken up by social cases. These are persons who have been discharged but either have nowhere else to go or they have been abandoned by their loved ones, requiring therefore the hospital to take care of them, to feed them, to house them at the expense of persons waiting for a bed.
Dr. Tufton has frequently bemoaned the heavy burden on the healthcare system caused by social cases. Social patients occupy critical bed spaces and consume resources that would otherwise be directed at patients in greater need of care. The minister says his team will provide support to persons who are discharged from hospitals but are still in need of minor medical care.
Some of them really belong in the infirmary. The infirmaries are crowded, and we have gone as far in some instances of working with local government to build out additional space. And in the case of a few areas like Spanish Town, we are actually paying to maintain persons in those facilities. In other cases, there are relatives who occupy these homes and have refused to bring them on board. So the appeal is really to say to relatives, in the case of those who have somewhere to go, take their loved ones. We will provide support through our community health aides and through the training for unpaid caregivers that we announced in my last sectorial to provide support for them while they're in their homes.
Dr. Christopher Tufton, Minister of Health and Wellness. Meanwhile, Dr. Tufton says there is need for legislative change to empower the authorities to appropriately handle social cases in hospitals.
We really have to do more to address this. We are hamstrung by legislation. The Public Health Act doesn't allow us to put people out. I mean, that may have been inhumane in cases where they have nowhere else to go. But we really have to look now at legislation and policy to strengthen the mechanisms to ensure that there's an alternative, because the hospital is just not a place to house persons, certainly not an infirmary, or and to avoid depriving persons of having that benefit when they really need a hospital bed.
Dr. Christopher Tufton, Minister of Health and Wellness. With the parents now crunching the numbers to organize their back-to-school budgets, President of the National Parent-Teacher Association, Stuart Jacobs, wants the government to help with the cost of digital devices for students.
The intention is very clear. It's the cost factor. The cost factor is after you buy all these books, you still need the device to do further research and so on. The expectation here and the hope here is that those who are selling these devices will give a better discount, a different pricing to students who are purchasing it. The possibility exists, and perhaps I'm proposing that the government seek to find a way in which they could negotiate on behalf of parents with the distributors of these devices to give somewhat a break for students.
Jacobs says students are now required to have books, tablets, and other devices among the standard set of tools needed for school. He wants the government to expand its free distribution of digital learning devices to sections of Western Jamaica.
Expand it now to more children, especially those who will be on the PATH program, and all those students who are more marginalized, and also those in the West. It could be looked at, seeing that those parents are going to be more impacted than the parents in the East, where the hurricane didn't really affect. So those parents are still slowly coming back to grips of what has happened and the affordability. And so it is to ask the distributors of the devices to cut on their margins and seek to work out even payment plans with parents to get these devices, because it is not that the school is putting an additional expense on parents for no reason at all. It is the way to go.
Stuart Jacobs, the president of the National Parent-Teacher Association of Jamaica, speaking during an interview with Nationwide News. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:17.
Fantana. Make me tell you about Fantana. Make me tell you about Fantana. Make me tell you about Fan. Nothing when me need for luck. New school year with me new backpacks.
Get all you need for back to school from Fontana Pharmacy.
Shop from now until September 6th.
And get 15% off your regular school supplies.
Conditions apply.
Let me tell you about Fantana.
In regional and international news this morning, regional news, the St. Lucian government has signed a memorandum of understanding with the United States for the deportation of third country nationals to the Caribbean Community country. Minister of External Affairs, International Trade, Civil Aviation, and Diaspora Affairs, Alva Baptiste, explained the parameters of the agreement in Parliament.
The purpose and scope of the MOU are to memorialize a non-binding understanding between the governments to facilitate the transfer of third country nationals from the United States to St. Lucia. The MOU further states at section 2.1, the government of the United States of America may in its complete discretion, propose to the government of St. Lucia the transfer of such third country nationals. And the government of St. Lucia may, in its complete discretion, consider accepting such a proposal in whole or in part.
Alva Baptiste, St. Lucia's External Affairs Minister. Baptiste says the agreement follows discussions that started in 2025. International U.S. President Donald Trump on Sunday instructed the Pentagon to substantially reduce joint military exercises with long-term Asian ally South Korea. It cites the cost of the drills and Seoul's refusal to take part in actions against Iran. The joint military drills started on Monday as scheduled, but hours before they were scheduled to begin, Trump posted on Truth Social that he was not pleased the U.S. had agreed to participate. The exercises are scheduled to run until August 27, with about 18,000 South Korean military personnel participating. According to Reuters, South Korea's presidential Blue House said it was reviewing Trump's post. It says it hopes the friendly relationship between the U.S. and North Korean leaders will lead to meaningful dialogue aimed at advancing peace and stability on the Korean peninsula. And that's it for regional and international news. Up next, sports.
Turn up to 25, turn up to 25. Could I drive out fresh in a MG ride with a staycation all inclusive flex? Yeah, I touch a million cash. Yes, smart TV, PS5, and home upgrade.
Turn up your winnings this summer with Digicel. Sign up or switch to postpaid or Digicel Plus. Buy a SIM. Top up with 5 bills or more. Buy a 7-day plan or higher. A smartphone deal or just pay your bill. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Promotion period June 24 to September 5, 2026. Visit DigicelJamaica.com for terms and conditions.
Heading back to university this summer? You're probably thinking about tuition, books, and maybe even replacing that laptop that's been hanging on by a thread. We've all been there. The good news? Paying for your education doesn't have to happen all at once. With a Barita Merchant Bank tertiary loan, you can borrow $500,000 and above, repay over up to 5 years, and even begin repaying while you study. So you can spend less time worrying about how to pay for school and more time focusing on what really matters: graduating. Call 876-618-3455 or email banksales@barita.com or visit baritamerchantbank.com/school loans. Barita Merchant Bank, let's get you there.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Time now for your morning sports. The government of Jamaica is to establish a scholarship in honor of late Jamaican track and field coach Stephen Francis. Minister of Sport Olivia Grange made the announcement Saturday at a service of Thanksgiving for Francis at the National Indoor Sports Center. Minister Grange described Francis, affectionately known as Frano, as among the most brilliant Jamaicans in any field, praising his ability to use his intellect to shape actions and results. She says Francis helped shape generations of athletes and contributed significantly to Jamaica's success in world athletics. The minister says the government will consult with the University of Technology and Francis's brother Paul on a lasting tribute. Stephen Francis died in July, one day after his 63rd birthday. The Caribbean Association of National Olympic Committees, CANOC, has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Olympic Council of Asia, opening the door to new opportunities for collaboration and assistance in sports development across the Caribbean. The agreement is part of CANOC's ongoing effort to build partnerships with established Olympic institutions around the world and strengthen programs based on the region's development needs. CANOC says the partnership follows a 2025 needs assessment survey and will provide access to new forms of collaboration in areas identified as priorities for its members. The organization has also signed agreements with the National Olympic Committees of Peru and Paraguay, while discussions are underway with sporting bodies in South America, Africa, and Qatar. CANOC says these partnerships reflect its commitment to positioning the Caribbean as a stronger, more unified force in international sport. Finally, in your morning sports, Arsenal beat Manchester City 3-0 in the Community Shield on Sunday, giving Mikel Arteta an early season triumph, while condemning new City boss Enzo Maresca to defeat in his first game in charge in the traditional curtain raiser to the campaign. With their fourth victory over City in the fixture, Arsenal maintained their 100% win record over their opponents with an emphatic performance at the Principality Stadium, where Ricardo Calafiori, Kai Havertz, and Martin Odegaard found the net. And that's it for your morning sports.
Business This Morning is brought to you by Stewart's Auto Sales. Rev up the summer with GWM Jamaica.
In business this morning, Ferrari's first ever electric car has fetched $40 million in a charity sale, a record for a new vehicle sold at auction. The sale of the Ferrari Luce, brainchild of the British iPhone designer Sir John Ive, raised more than 35 times the usual price of the car at the event at RM Sotheby's in California. The unveiling of the Luce in May was seen as one of the biggest launches of a new car in recent years, but it faced widespread criticism. Some commentators said it strayed from the marquee's traditional designs and lost a part of the brand's identity by being battery-powered and having 5 seats. Sotheby's said all proceeds of the sale will be donated to the Ferrari Foundation's educational programs. Sotheby's did not name the buyer of the custom Luce, which features a unique finish and customized parts. German companies slashed investments in the United States to a 3-year low in the first half of 2026. This as Trump administration policies fed uncertainty between the transatlantic trading partners. According to calculations by the German Economic Institute, or IW, seen by Reuters, first half direct investments plunged by nearly 2/3 year-on-year to $5 billion, the lowest level since 2023. Compared with the same period in 2024, the report said that represents a drop of nearly 80%, which is based on data from Germany's central bank. IW researcher Samina Sultan told Reuters that this continues the downward trend that has been evident since the start of Donald Trump's second term in January 2025. Since returning to office, Trump has threatened most of the U.S.'s international trading partners with import tariffs in an attempt to secure concessions favorable to Washington. In foreign exchange trading, the Jamaican dollar will open against the benchmark U.S. dollar, selling for an average $158.29. Against the Canadian, the Jamaican will open selling for an average $114.51. And finally, the Jamaican dollar will begin trading for an average $214.83 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
Business This Morning was brought to you by Stewart's Auto Sales. Rev up the summer with GWM Jamaica.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:28.
Drive out in your brand new ride. Pick up all of your friends on a mad crew vibe. Rev up this summer, rev up this summer. Rev up this summer, rev up this summer. So whether you're a first-time owner, entrepreneur, professional, or adventure seeker, GWM Jamaica has a vehicle designed for your lifestyle. And this summer, customers will benefit from low interest rates and flat processing fees and enjoy up to $150,000 in free fuel thanks to Rubis Jamaica plus supermarket vouchers. Drive smarter, drive bolder. Go with Rev up this summer, rev up this summer. With G. Rev up this summer, rev up this summer.
Fresh box shoes bring back the days of full-time fun at Sun and Blazer. Take a long sip, bust a big smile. Play with your friends, chill for a while. The simple thing that make life nice. Fresh box juice when it cool like ice. Enjoy the things you love the best. Treasure the memories, keep them fresh box juice. Yeah. Fresh box juice. Keep your memories fresh, yeah.
Become a member of your credit union. 70 years strong to build a reputation. Insurance, loan and investment. All your children's savings make dollars and cents. JBS and partners, Cooperative Credit Union. Your financial partner for life. 70 years you made your choice. JBS and partners, Cooperative Credit Union.
Fellow citizens of Africa, I greet you in the name of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League of the World. As you are aware, the world in which we live today is divided into separate race groups and distinct nationalities. Each race and each nationality is endeavoring to work out its own destiny to the exclusion of other races and other nationalities. We hear the cry of England for the Englishman, of France for the Frenchman, of Germany for the German, of Ireland for the Irish, of Palestine for the Jew, of Japan for the Japanese, of China for the Chinese. We of the Universal Negro Improvement Association are raising the cry of Africa for the Africans, those at home and those abroad. The great problem of the Negro for the last 500 years has been that of disunity. No one or no organization ever succeeded in uniting the Negro race.
Talking about Marcus Garvey, Marcus Messiah Garvey. Marcus Messiah Garvey, Marcus Messiah Garvey, Marcus Messiah Garvey, man of nobility, man of nobility. He said, up, in mighty race, one God, one aim, one destiny. Africa for Africans, at home and abroad. We must all unite, sing Marcus Messiah Garvey, Marcus Messiah Garvey, Marcus Messiah Garvey, man of nobility, man of nobility. He said, up, in mighty race, one God, one aim, one destiny. Africa for Africans, though he is gone, we must carry on now.
Great is he who values his greatness. If you have no confidence in yourself, you're twice defeated in the race of life. But with confidence you have won even before you have started.
A people without the knowledge of their past, history, origin and culture is like a tree without roots. Only students of history can recall the day when Egypt, Ethiopia and Timbuktu towered in their civilization.
Yes, Africa was peopled with a race of cultured blacks who were masters in art, science and literature. People who were cultured and refined. people who it was said were like the gods.
And even the great poets of old sang in beautiful sonnets of the delight it afforded the gods to be in companionship with the Ethiopians. Why then should we lose hope?
Lose not courage.
Lose not faith.
Go forward!
We cannot wait on any to free us. We must liberate ourselves, eat what we grow. If we allow others to feed us, then one day we shall be without.
Hold fast to faith, desert not the ranks, but as brave soldiers march on to victory.
Give praise for Marcus Garvey. Remember what he said, that Africa be our guiding star. Star of destiny. Ooh, star of destiny. Can you see? Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey. Man of nobility. He said, up, up, the mighty race. One God, one aim, one destiny. Africa for Africans, home and abroad. We must all unite, sing Marcus, Messiah.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. You're tuned in to Nationwide this morning, NTM. Thank you so much for coming on over and joining us this Monday morning. It is Monday, August 17, 2026, and bringing us in some music in relation to Marcus Garvey, and this, the anniversary of his birth, Marcus Garvey, our first national hero, born on August 17, 1887. Welcome to you, YouTubers, to our friends out there in Radioland, joining us for NTM this morning. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a good morning so far and had a good weekend as well. I'm Tona Thomas.
I'm Sandra Roden. You know, it's a Monday morning. It's a good morning to be alive, Tana. And you know, Monday is one of...
Your favorite days.
And did I say that? Tana, did I say that? Did I say that?
Yeah.
Did I say that, Mr. King?
Monday is one of your favorite days.
I don't remember saying that. I feel like they're ganging up on me in studio. But here's what.
You declared it though. So
if you can find the tape.
We can't we, Jermaine? Yes.
If we can find the tape, then I'll accept that.
You're on record. You're on record. And Sharon Kong is saying today is her grandson's birthday as well. How lovely. So an early happy birthday to Sharon Kong's grandson, wishing for him a lovely day. And if you can hop on back in the chat as well, Sharon, to tell us what's your grandson's name. Yeah.
Yeah, it is indeed a good day to be alive. And of course, you see those who are in the chat saying good morning, Marigold. I see you. I see all of you guys in the chat up, out, early. And of course, you're always liking, sharing, and subscribing. I hope you are. I hope you are. Oh, wow. Wow. There's a comment I want you to see now.
All right.
Yes, you just go and look at my misspelled name, and then you can just see what comes after that.
Okay.
Good morning. They say I said it. Okay, if I said it, I said it. You know, but again, if you can find the tape, you know, that is what's important to know, the tape. You know, what are you going to find on that tape? What exactly did I say? You know, Tana, do they know or do they not know?
They know.
They know. But today is a very important day. It is the birthday of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And if you know Marcus Garvey, you know that his impact on the world, his impact in advocacy is unmatched. And he has changed the world with his thoughts, his ideas, his pen. And that is something we ought to celebrate. Something we ought to celebrate, Tana.
Indeed. And I've seen the comment. All I'll say is hilarious. Yeah.
But what's on my mind this morning, it's a somber what's on my mind. You know, I heard the stories last week, and I heard the comments from the police commissioner saying that, you know, right now accidents are becoming so prevalent they might derail everything else that the police will have to focus on, because murders are going down, violent crimes are going down, but for some reason, we have not quite figured out how to literally keep our roads safe. And that is why personally I am against traveling on particular days, holidays, you know, those days I try my best not to travel. Long weekends, you know, when all the festivities are happening and people are inebriated, I try again not to travel, not to go too far, not to go to the North Coast where some of these individuals will be, because having been on the North Coast at one point in recent times, Tana, I saw some driving that was reminiscent of a racetrack on Formula One. And I was like, wow, I didn't know we had such good quality roads. Those drivers could not complain about the quality of the road, Tana, because they took all and sundry. They ensured that they got every piece of the pavement as they went through. Now, some months ago, I was sitting in traffic at a stoplight in Kingston. When the light turned green, the vehicle directly in front of me moved forward almost immediately. Another vehicle sped through the red light and crashed into it. Months ago, I witnessed that. As a matter of fact, how bad it was, and I've never said it on air, I could feel there's a jerk in my car that pushed me back based on the impact. Luckily, it wasn't a tragic accident, but the vehicle that crashed into the other vehicle was better off, and they had to bring the individuals to the hospital. And that says a lot to me. I was thinking to myself, that could easily have been me. Had I been the first vehicle at that light, or had the sequence changed by only a few seconds, I could have been the one struck. I had obeyed the traffic sign. The driver in front of me had obeyed the traffic sign. Yet, neither obedience nor caution could fully protect us from another driver's reckless decision. That moment has stayed with me because it showed how quickly an ordinary journey can turn into tragedy. One person's impatience, distraction, or disregard for a red light can permanently alter the lives of several people. And no, I'm not talking about those who are wrongly accused of breaching the light, as I have been before. It returned to my mind when I saw Jamaica's latest road safety figures. As at Friday, August 14, Jamaica has recorded 202 deaths from 174 fatal crashes since the beginning of 2026. This represents a 15% reduction when compared to the corresponding period last year. But the mood this morning must remain somber. 202 people left home and never returned. That is approximately one person killed on Jamaica's roads every day so far this year. Behind every figure is a name, a family, a future that has been taken away. These were parents, children, partners, relatives, friends, employees, breadwinners even. Their families are now carrying that grief that no statistic can adequately capture. Beyond those who have died, many others have survived crashes with severe injuries, Tana. Some are living with permanent disabilities. Others require continued medical treatment, rehabilitation, or daily assistance. Families may lose income, exhaust their savings, and rearrange their entire lives to care for an injured relative. Road crashes are therefore not simply transportation incidents. They are a public health crisis, a social problem, and a serious economic burden. The World Health Organization estimates that approximately 1.16 million people die in road crashes globally each year, while between 20 million and 50 million people sustain non-fatal injuries. Road traffic injuries are the leading cause of death among children and young adults between the ages of 5 and 29. Approximately 92% of global road fatalities occur in low and middle income countries, although these countries have only about 60% of the world's vehicles. The WHO also estimates that road crashes cost most countries approximately 3% of their GDP through what? Medical expenses, lost productivity, property damage, and the long-term care of people who have been injured. And I'm sure many of you remember that video from a couple of months ago where there were just two cars that were speeding and they crashed into the side there of somebody's property. Yeah? We remember that. That is an economic cost. There's a link. There is a link, and a lot of people don't see the link. And I have to ask, why has dangerous driving become so normal? Every day we see motorists speeding through communities, overtaking recklessly, using their phones while driving, forcing their way into traffic. And I'm not targeting just taximen, because they're, yes, I know a lot of people will call them out, and I will too. But I for one, have to call out the bike man, because I came up with a theory right here on Nationwide this morning, months ago, last year actually. And I said, when I go to a red light and I stop, and if a bike man goes to the red light, not all of them, but you have the ones that you see it in the way they're riding, and once they go to the red light and they see all clear, they don't wait on green. And as a matter of fact, a couple months ago, Tana, I was driving again. And as I said, I paused at the red light. I watched this bike man. And he was hit from that bike right then and there. And I said, why? I don't know what in the world you could be rushing for so badly that you would want to forfeit your livelihood, because his leg was damaged. His bike was done for. And the poor lady that was coming around on her green light was in shock, because what? She was coming on her green light. And that's what happened. Too often the careful driver is pressured, flashed at, overtaken aggressively, because another motorist believes that obeying the speed limit is an inconvenience. But speed has deadly consequences. To an impatient driver, 15 kilometers per hour may not appear significant. To the pedestrian who is struck, it can be the difference between surviving and dying. But responsibility don't rest with the drivers alone. To be fair, Jamaica also need roads that are safer and more forgiving of human error. Poor lighting, faded road markings, potholes, missing signs, inadequate pedestrian crossings, and badly designed intersections can make already dangerous situations worse. People will make mistakes, but our road system should be designed to reduce the likelihood that one mistake results in death. So yes, I am calling out those who are in charge of that area. I don't know exactly who is in charge of that area, because of course we're not at the One Road Authority yet, Tana, so I might hear that is NWA, then I'm going to hear it's Parish Council, then I'm going to hear that it's the ministry, because people will be pointing fingers. But what I will say is, those potholes that people have to swing from, they don't help. They don't help. I've seen people swing into danger many times because they're trying to avoid a pothole. Those roads that don't have any marking, and then the police stop and say, yeah, but you should have done that. And you say, but how would I know? Those roads, those markings, we need to get them right. We need to get those markings up and running. So the government and the police, they've indicated that they want to keep road fatalities below 300 this year. But even if Jamaica remains below that threshold, hundreds of families will still be grieving. That requires urgent actions. I've said it before, and I'll say it again as we wrap up. Enforcement must be visible, consistent, and supported by technology, not the word of mouth of a police officer. And I have my reason for saying that. Secondly, authorities must use crash data to identify and correct Jamaica's most dangerous roads and intersections. Poor lighting, faded markings, damaged signs, unsafe pedestrian crossings. Third, greater protection must be provided for pedestrians, cyclists, and motorcyclists, because we need proper sidewalks in some areas, functioning street lights in some areas. Fourth, driver education needs to be strengthened. Learning enough road science to pass an examination is not sufficient. And I know the Minister of Transport spoke about a comprehensive program that they are working on. Well, as quickly as you can, Minister, because it's necessary. Finally, each of us, all of us, must accept personal responsibility. Passengers, they can speak up when the driver is speeding. Families must prevent their relatives, and friends must prevent their friends from driving while intoxicated. Employers should not impose schedules that encourage reckless driving. And drivers need to put away your phone, wear your seatbelt, obey the traffic signals, and slow down. I continue to think about that stoplight in Kingston. The driver in front of me received the green light, proceeded lawfully, and another driver sped through the red light and sent that man to the hospital. A matter of seconds separated that vehicle from mine. It could have been me. So this morning, I'm asking you to be safe on the road. No appointment, deadline, or destination is worth another person's life. And that's what's on my mind.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness works to ensure the provision of quality health services and promotes healthy lifestyles and environmental practices for all Jamaicans. The time by the Ministry of Health and Wellness is...
It's 6:50.
JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union offers financial solutions for every stage in your life: savings, auto loans, mortgages, and more. The temperature by JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston City, 29 degrees Celsius out west in Montego Bay, and 24 degrees Celsius in the cool hills of Mandeville.
School expenses adding up? Get ready for school with Chris and Charles. From July 9 to August 31, enjoy a low interest rate on loans of $1.5 and $2 million. Plus, get 25% off the processing fee on loans of $1 million Jamaican dollars and above. You could also qualify for one of 50 ready for school grants worth 60,000 Jamaican dollars each. Visit your nearest Chris and Charles branch or www.chrisandcharles.com for details. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles. Conditions apply.
Every school is free of unhealthy, ultra-processed products. You know, those high in salt, fats, and sugar. If only that weren't a dream. The reality is that many children have an unhealthy diet at school, and 23% of them are overweight or obese. This can lead to hypertension, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. Let's protect our children's right to health with a policy for schools that prevents unhealthy food marketing and ensures access to nutritious foods. The time is now. Let's implement the National School Nutrition Policy. A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
Looking for a gym that's got it all? Welcome to Express Fitness, where fitness meets convenience. With 24/7 access, you can work out whenever it suits you. And with island-wide locations, we're always close by anywhere and anytime. Love classes? We've got them. From aerobics to dance to spin, you name it, we've got it. Our certified trainers are here to take you on a journey. Call us at 888-FITNESS or visit our website at expressfitnessja.com. Express Fitness, your goal or mission.
When you hear those horns, you know what time it is. It's time for Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Good morning to you, Ludlow.
Morning, Sandre. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. You?
Good, all right, me too. And Donna, morning.
Hey to you, Ludlow.
All right. Boy, I tell you, I covered everything. I was only going to say the competent drivers, the defensive drivers. But that comes as part of driver education, Sandra, yes.
Yeah.
The level of driving is just crazy. And the road, boy, I tell you, we hit two pothole and bend my rim, you know. I'm a vex coming from Harborview, heading to Harborview on Long Winwood Road. Hit pothole. I see it happening on Oak Road yesterday, just after you pass Christ Villa, the hotel there.
Yes.
Covering
Yes.
2 vehicles lose them rim. And
But what I'll
the road
say,
them
what
serious,
I'll say
you know.
to you, now, Ludlow, the Ministry of Economic Growth and Infrastructure Development launched a website, and I hear it's working. So we need to start logging some of these potholes so they can
Well,
see it.
This is so much of them thing and incompetent driving. Nobody not use indicators. Most, I would say nobody. A lot of drivers turn. You see all them SUVs like them feet, so they're on the king of the road. Them not use no indicator, them just turn. Anyway, that's how it go. The situation downtown now, if you're on the Harbour Street side, coming into Water Lane, Harbour Street, and even beyond that, the traffic is moving steadily. In downtown Kingston, no problems. Duke Street, Orange Street, all of these areas. And if you're making it up into the Euro Circle area, you're going through Kingston Garden, by the way, it's not too bad. North Avenue, Central Avenue, and then going around to Euro Circle. But all of the Euro Circle, for the moment, going good. Coming down Marasca Road, no problems. Heading onto East Street, back into downtown, it's pretty good this side. And if you go over to the Slipe Road, you're going to find the movement also good onto Orange Street, then into downtown Kingston. King Street, not bad at this particular part this time. It's our first support for the morning until about 7:20 thereabout. But boy, I'm really fed up of this type of road network, man, I tell you. Anyway, and it's not only taxis, yeah? Taxis have the lead. Check the percentage, all right? And PPV vehicles, less than the other vehicles. Anyway, it's back to you, Sanjay.
Thank you, Ludlow. And we're seeing Vivian in the chat, Tana, saying that she met into an accident and had to go into assisted living. Yeah. We're going now to our word of the day.
The word of the day is brought to you by Marshall's Pharmacy.
A word of the day is spelled Slumgulion. Slumgulion.
Slumgullion. Slumgullion. Slumgullion.
Slumgullion is your word of the day. Slumgulion, and it's a stew of meat, vegetables, or potatoes. It could also mean a beverage made weak or thin, as watery tea, coffee, or the like, or the refuse from processing whale carcasses, or a reddish muddy deposit in mining sluices. Slumgullion is your word of the day. Dictionary.com telling us that the word was first recorded between 1840 and 1850. To use it quickly in a sentence in relation to stew, the frugal cook threw whatever vegetables were left in the fridge into a pot to make a hearty slumgullion. Slumgullion, your word of the day. Up next, your features at the top of the hour, the news.
The word of the day was brought to you by Marshall's Pharmacy.
Living Well is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Healthy people, healthy environment.
Today on Living Well, an early warning about opioids. What is an opioid? Opioids are a class of drugs that include the illegal drug heroin, synthetic opioids such as fentanyl, and pain relievers available legally by prescription, such as oxycodone, OxyContin, hydrocodone, Vicodin, codeine, morphine, and many others. These drugs are chemically related and interact with opioid receptors on nerve cells in the body and brain. It's important to keep in mind that most opioids are narcotics. In other words, the main ingredients include things such as codeine and morphine. If you're not aware, the overdose and overdosing of opioids is at an epidemic level in the United States. Let's look at the numbers. In Akron, Ohio, for example, drug overdose deaths in 2016 most likely exceeded 59,000, the largest annual jump ever recorded in the United States, according to preliminary data compiled by the New York Times. In Massachusetts, at least 5 men and women are dying from an opioid overdose every day. Just put that into perspective. That could be as much as 30 people each month or more. My concern here is that this situation could take root here in Jamaica. It's very important that those that are the guardians and the gatekeepers of these drugs ensure that they don't get into the hands of our people without cause, and if possible, to avoid prescribing them at all costs. As we know, it's only a matter of time before we catch the cold from the sneeze, and so proactivity is going to be key. We have some of the best doctors and pharmacists here in Jamaica. So I'm asking all of you to be diligent and keep your ears to the ground for early warning signs. Being addicted to these drugs are destructive, and they are unscrupulous characters that will seek to make a fortune from the demise or discomfort of others. That's Living Well for today. Tune in next time for Left, Right.
Living Well was brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Healthy people, healthy environment.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
The greatest guide and lesson given to man to have good manners is the rule that was set down more than 2,000 years ago. This is Lifestyle Pages on kindness. The rules say we must do unto others as we would have others do unto you. When you are about to break a rule of etiquette, or you are thinking of saying or doing something that will be considered rude, always make the choice to say or do the kindest thing. Rules can change, but kindness never does. So, whether you are at home, school, the workplace, or at a social or public gathering, always remember that when all is said and done, kindness is all that matters. I'm Valerie, and those were Lifestyle Pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Distracted driving costs lives. Keep your eyes on the road and arrive alive. The time brought to you by the Jamaica Information Service is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 for this morning, Monday, August 17, 2026, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness gives a fresh commitment to boost the efficiency of government processes. JTA expected to announce position on government's latest wage offer by Wednesday. Parent Teachers Association wants the government to help finance digital devices for students. And in international news, Trump orders Pentagon to cut back military exercises with South Korea. The details after the break.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has given a fresh commitment that his administration will make the necessary changes to boost the efficiency of government processes. The Prime Minister was speaking last week at the Permanent Secretary Board retreat at Sandals Ocherias in St. Anne. Mahira Stewart has that story.
Championed efficiency as a characteristic that the government under his leadership should strive for in all areas. While addressing his audience of permanent secretaries, Dr. Holness revealed that his administration will adjust government processes to erase any aspects that make them unnecessarily slow.
We are responsible for changing the inefficient processes. And there has been, I must confess, some fear, which has led to some reluctance in touching the existing legislative and institutional frameworks that exist. Let me assure you, I have no such fears. And I have been speaking about this now for more than a year. So I'm saying to the permanent secretaries who are gathered and the other technical officers that we are now at the point where we will be making changes to many of the institutional processes that have been established that are not serving us, that are slow, cumbersome, unnecessary, duplicative, and complicated.
The Prime Minister says changes are coming, but he called on the nation's permanent secretaries to work as efficiently as possible under the current system until the changes are introduced.
We will go through them and we will change them to more efficient processes that utilize greater technology that is available to make the systems work much faster. So we're not asking you to break the rules that exist. We're asking you to work faster within those rules, and where we can make those rules more relevant to the current situation, we will change them.
Last week, East Portland MP Isaac Buchanan, during a TikTok live, encouraged Jamaicans to falsely claim that their homes were damaged during the recent demolition exercise in Cooper's Pen. He called on the individuals to, quote, chop a line upon them, end quote, a well-known Jamaican euphemism for scamming. Prime Minister Holness made reference to that phrase while lamenting what he believes is the demonization of efficient processes.
In the minds of the public listening, whenever we talk about speed and getting things done, there is the assumption that you can only be speedy and effective if you somehow break the rules. So we're not here talking about breaking rules. But it says a lot about us as a people. If the only way we can be efficient and fast and getting things done at scale is if we break the rules, if we break the line, if we have to chop the line, as even some politicians are promoting now. It says a lot about the thinking of us as a people. If within institutions we can't work fast, and that the only way to work fast is to break the rules of the institution.
Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
The country should know by Wednesday the position of the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, on the latest wage offer tabled by the government. JTA President Mark Malava provided the update during an interview with our news center.
Yeah, I can confirm that we received a new offer from the government. We received that yesterday. We have been having a look at it, but we will submit it to our members on Tuesday or Wednesday for discussion and for a decision to be made.
Wage negotiations between the JTA and the Holness administration have again been protracted. Malava says the latest offer from the government is an improvement on the previous proposal.
The truth of the matter is it's very important. Teachers are anxious to have the matter resolved, but the teachers are also aware that the issue has continued to languish for a long time. The reality is that we have always maintained that we are not prepared to accept anything that is less than our value and our worth. Where we are now is that if the teachers don't accept the offer, then I cannot tell you what will come September. That will be a decision. That will be a decision for the members to determine. What I can say though is that the offer is an improved offer.
Mark Malava, president of the JTA. The Member of Parliament for North Trelawney, Tova Hamilton, says the team, which recently demolished homes in Cooper's Pen, does intend to return to complete the exercise. MP Hamilton gave the update to our news center on Sunday.
Well, I can't speak about the plans yet because we're still assessing. But I do know that the entity that did the demolition on Tuesday is planning on coming back. So the people need somewhere to go. So I think that is where now we have to try to see how best we can help them with relocation.
Nationwide News has done an expose on the long-running legal battle, which resulted in the court ordering the property owner to reclaim their land. Our examination of the decisions of the courts has also found that those illegally occupying the land were ordered to vacate and remove all structures they've built on the property. Tova Hamilton says not all those who had their homes bulldozed during the demolition are from Trelawney.
And I must also indicate that a number of the people that were demolished were not necessarily from Trelawney originally.
Tova Hamilton, Member of Parliament for North Trelawney. Meanwhile, with the start of the new school year mere weeks away, MP Hamilton says that she intends to assist the students who were impacted by last week's demolition in Cooper's Pen.
Based on the information I gathered, it was probably about 7 or 8 children, some of them very young. So the 1 or 2 that may need back to school can get that support. So it wouldn't be a problem.
Tova Hamilton, MP for North Trelawney. Education Minister Senator Dr. Dana Morse Dixon says that she is disappointed with the slow pace of rebuilding work at some schools in Western Jamaica damaged by Hurricane Melissa. The minister was speaking last week at a leadership summit hosted by the Education Ministry in Region 3. Region 3 covers St. Anne and Trelawney.
I don't like going to a school and the principal not know and the VP not know. But I was going to look at where the repair is. The problem is when they hear I'm coming, everybody working. So yesterday I went unannounced to see whether or not there was work happening. And again, I say I was disappointed, big time, pleased with the status of much of the repairs. I'm not pleased.
Last week, representatives of the ministry, including Minister Maurice Dixon and State Minister of Education Rhoda Moore Crawford, conducted an assessment tour of several schools in Western Jamaica. The minister says over $5.5 billion was allocated to schools in Region 3 for rebuilding work.
What is disappointing is that I know I've worked with the team to push the Ministry of Finance to allocate the funds to education, and we got the funds allocated and we've done the contracts, but then we don't see the work finished. In terms of Hurricane Melissa reconstruction, and I know the RD would have spoken a bit about this, but in Region 3, the total for the 60 schools I have is $5.698 billion. It's a lot of money to repair the schools. 60 schools, $5.698 billion for Region 3 alone.
Senator Dr. Dana Morse Dixon, Minister of Education. Meanwhile, State Minister of Education Rhoda Moore Crawford says the pace of work at two primary schools in South Trelawney, Wilson's Run and Albert Town, appear on track for completion by September.
I am very, very pleased with the progress and the scope of work being undertaken here at Wilson's Run. The contractor is here, the project officers are here, not just from the contractor's team, but from our National Education Trust team. It has been a good day. I would have mentioned earlier that there are works at Albert Town Primary that I'm very pleased with. For example, the actual roofing, the electrical work undertaken, the installation of new ceiling fans, new lighting system, but we still have some work to do at Albert Town Primary, and we have gotten some commitment that work will advance next week.
Rhoda Moore Crawford, State Minister of Education. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is making a fresh appeal this morning for family members of hospital patients to collect them once their care is complete. Patients who are no longer in need of acute medical care are referred to as social cases.
This is a long-standing issue that we have had in our hospitals, where between 5 to 10%, sometimes up to 15% of our hospital beds, particularly in the urban centers, places like Spanish Town, Sablamar, Cornwall Regional, are taken up by social cases. These are persons who have been discharged but either have nowhere else to go or they have been abandoned by their loved ones, requiring therefore the hospital to take care of them, to feed them, to house them at the expense of persons waiting for a bed.
Dr. Tufton has frequently bemoaned the heavy burden on the healthcare system caused by social cases. Social patients occupy critical bed spaces and consume resources that would otherwise be directed at patients in greater need of care. The minister says his team will provide support to persons who are discharged from hospitals but who are still in need of minor medical care.
Some of them really belong in the infirmary. The infirmaries are crowded, and we have gone as far in some instances of working with local government to build out additional space. And in the case of a few areas like Spanish Town, we are actually paying to maintain persons in those facilities. In other cases, there are relatives who occupy these homes and have refused to bring them on board. So the appeal is really to say to relatives, in the case of those who have somewhere to go, take their loved ones. We will provide support through our community health aides and through the training for unpaid caregivers that we announced in my last sectorial to provide support for them while they're in their homes.
Dr. Christopher Tufton, Minister of Health and Wellness. Meanwhile, Dr. Tufton says there is need for legislative change to empower the authorities to appropriately handle social cases in hospitals.
We really have to do more to address this. We are hamstrung by legislation. The Public Health Act doesn't allow us to put people out. I mean, that may have been inhumane in cases where they have nowhere else to go. But we really have to look now at legislation and policy to strengthen the mechanisms to ensure that there's an alternative, because the hospital is just not a place to house persons, certainly not an infirmary, or and to avoid depriving persons of having that benefit when they really need a hospital bed.
Dr. Christopher Tufton, Minister of Health and Wellness. With the parents now crunching the numbers to organize their back-to-school budgets, President of the National Parent-Teacher Association, Stuart Jacobs, wants the government to help with the cost of digital devices to students.
The intention is very clear. It's a cost factor. The cost factor is after you buy all these books, you still need the device to do further research and so on. The expectation here and the hope here is that those who are selling these devices will give a better discount, a different pricing to students who are purchasing it. The possibility exists, and perhaps I'm proposing that the government seek to find a way in which they could negotiate on behalf of parents with the distributors of these devices to give somewhat a break for students.
Jacobs says students are now required to have books, tablets, and other devices among the standard set of tools needed for school. He wants the government to expand its free distribution of digital learning devices to sections of Western Jamaica.
Expand it now to more children, especially those who will be on the PATH program, and all those students who are more marginalized, and also those in the West. It could be looked at, seeing that those parents are going to be more impacted than the parents in the East, where the hurricane didn't really affect. So those parents are still slowly coming back to grips of what has happened and the affordability. And so it is to ask the distributors of the devices to cut on their margins and seek to work out even payment plans with parents to get these devices, because it is not that the school is putting an additional expense on parents for no reason at all. It is the way to go.
Stuart Jacobs, the president of the National Parent-Teacher Association of Jamaica. He was speaking during an interview with Nationwide News. In an item of regional news, the St. Lucian government has signed a memorandum of understanding with the United States for the deportation of third country nationals to the Caribbean Community country. Minister of External Affairs, International Trade, Civil Aviation and Diaspora Affairs, Alva Baptiste, explained the parameters of the agreement in Parliament.
The purpose and scope of the MOU are to memorialize a non-binding understanding between the governments to facilitate the transfer of third country nationals from the United States to St. Lucia. The MOU further states at section 2.1, the government of the United States of America may, in its complete discretion, propose to the government of St. Lucia the transfer of such third country nationals. And the government of St. Lucia may, in its complete discretion, consider accepting such a proposal in whole or in part.
Alva Baptiste, St. Lucia's External Affairs Minister. Baptiste says the government follows discussions that started in 2025. The agreement follows discussions that started in 2025. International U.S. President Donald Trump on Sunday instructed the Pentagon to substantially reduce joint military exercises with long-term Asian ally South Korea. He cites the cost of the drills and Seoul's refusal to take part in actions against Iran. The joint military drills started on Monday as scheduled, but hours before they were scheduled to begin, Trump posted on Truth Social that he was not pleased the U.S. had agreed to participate. The exercises are scheduled to run until August 27, with about 18,000 South Korean military personnel participating. According to Reuters, South Korea's presidential Blue House said it was reviewing Trump's post. It says it hopes that the friendly relationship between the U.S. and North Korean leaders will lead to meaningful dialogue aimed at advancing peace and stability on the Korean Peninsula. And that's it for the news at 7.
The time by Jamaica National is
7:18.
Rent or buy your hurricane supplies from Total Tools. Visit 102 Main Street, Oterius, 34 Slipe Road, Kingston 5, or Lot C6, Drax Hall, St. Anne's Bay. The temperature brought to you by Total Tools Jamaica is
28 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, 29 out west in Montego Bay, and in Mandeville, 25 degrees Celsius.
Timing, strategy, precision. For over a decade, Sagicor Investments has set the standard for performance. We deliver results that speak for themselves. Number one, in value traded on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Jamaica's largest unit trust fund manager with diversified investments and unmatched capital markets expertise. Take the first step towards a portfolio built on consistent performance. Call 888 Sagicor to speak with a wealth advisor.
From the biggest tracks to the biggest energy, Nationwide keeps it moving. If you love the vibes, come and lock in with us for real.
World Boss, if a prison could stop me.
Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club today on Patreon.
Practice. God, me say you watch you over me practice.
That time of the morning when we get our second report of Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Hey, Ludlow.
Hey, on morning time.
Morning time again.
Again, right. It's still warm and bright and sunny at the moment, and I don't know what's going to happen during the course of the afternoon because sometimes the weather pattern changes. And the situation, though, those of you in the crossroads area, it's not too bad. Retirement Road, there's some traffic. They're heading on to Half a Tree Road and are going across the whole of road in both directions. Just a little busy in that corridor, but once you further out along Whole Road, going further up northbound, it is pretty good movement. Also, Oxford Road busy in both directions, but again, you don't have much delays to, give you any problem. Going up Northside Boulevard, not a problem either. Trafalgar Road, the movement is good. Although the intersection is building now, Trafalgar and Waterloo, that area. And then Hoop Road in both directions, steady, no problems. A bit busy going up towards the vicinity of Ligane. Ligane Avenue, no problems. Onto Barbican Road, a steady flow going all the way around to Whitcomb Road. And so it is not much of a problem, but I can tell you it's building. It's pretty dynamic. After this report, no doubt the traffic flow will increase. Because if you're coming from, right now, if you're coming from Papine, it is also steady, but getting a little heavy in the vicinity of the embassy there. And across from Mona Road and all the way down to Ulop Road, you're going to find the roadways are a bit narrow because of the pipe laying along Ulop Road, just from Retreat Avenue, coming up towards Matilda's Corner. They're running pipes and they're, sorting out the whole situation. So there's a bit of inconvenience there. All right? But, Tona, I'm so disappointed with the level of potholes. I could tell you Mullines Road, Bradford Road, all those roads leading off Mullines Road. It's really Sundown Crescent. It's really, really bad. Morton Park Terrace, really, really in a bad condition. And it goes and Mullines Road going all the way up towards Queensborough side. So there's a lot of work that the One Road Authority has to do. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's Parish Council again or whatever it is. So, or NWA, what's it, NWA?
NWA.
But we're going to have a lot of work we're going to do. And then the night driving, the super bright lights, Turner.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, and then when those super bright lights hit you, you can't see where the potholes are. Because some of the road, it's really dark. It's really a problem, I'm telling you. Sorry for those who have night vision, like, when those bright lights hit you, you tend to swing the vehicle.
Yeah.
So it's really a problem. I hope the police, I know the police are doing some work as regards those super bright lights, so let's see what happens. You're going to hear also the vehicles came down that way, but I'm not so sure about that. Anyway, it's back to you, Turner, and at Street Smart, your safety is all concerned. Back to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Ludlow, and your complaints are heard. Up next, the front page.
Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Good morning again. We're on the front page this morning, and we have a bit of a somber tone this morning because the family of 33-year-old Kenise Dunn is accusing the St. Anne's Bay Hospital of negligence following her death at the facility. Family says Miss Dunn, who was 8 months pregnant, was admitted to the hospital on July 29th after complaining that she had not passed stool for several days. Her uncle, Kirk, spoke with our news center. He says that up to Sunday, August 9, she was still complaining that she had not passed stool.
She said they told her they were going to take her to Ocho Rios to do a ultrasound. She called me back to say the nurse came to her and said there is no ambulance to take her to Ocho Rios and them short of staff. So they don't know when. I went down there Sunday God. I asked a nurse to speak to the doctor lady I see behind her. She said, just give me a second here, because I'm into 20 minutes. The nurse came back and said, the doctor says your niece can speak to you because she's capable of speaking with you. I said, but she sent me to the doctor because she said she don't understand why she has been taken to do the ultrasound. Well, the doctor said he's not going to speak with you because you're not the next of kin. I said, okay, sorry. I came home. I called Crystal, which is the junior minister of health. I told her that my niece need to go to Ocho Rios to get an ultrasound done. And I told her what my niece told me. Monday morning, about 8:40, 8:50, my niece called me and said, Uncle Kirk, they're taking me to Ocho Rios to get the ultrasound done. Less than 24 hours, after they said they never have any ambulance and they never have and the short staff.
That's Kirk, the uncle of Kenise Dunn. And Miss Dunn went into labor and gave birth on Tuesday, August 11. She later required emergency surgery after her intestines reportedly burst during delivery. Miss Dunn subsequently died. And we're being joined this morning by her uncle Kirk and her aunt, Mrs. Rose. Good morning to both of you. Kirk, Mrs. Rose?
Unmute your mics, please. Good morning to you.
Kirk and Mrs. Rose, if you could unmute your mic.
Hi, good morning.
There
yes,
we go.
Good morning, Mrs.
Good
Rose.
morning to you. Kirk?
Hi, morning.
Oh, morning to you both. We just want you to give us a rundown, starting with you, Uncle Kirk, about what really transpired between the St. Anne's Bay Hospital and yourself, and exactly what led to all of the time periods that we're seeing here. You said July 29th up to August 9th. And we want to understand, not just for us, but for those who are listening public, what exactly transpired.
Well, what exactly transpired? Kenise Dunn, she called me around July 27, complaining that she was feeling some pain in her tummy. And she said, Uncle Kirk, I don't want to go back to St. Anne's Bay because remember that mommy
died basically at the sentence based on how they treat her. I told her that Punky, because we call her Punky, I said, Punky, this is just a minor situation. Just go in, explain to the doctors what you're feeling, pain in your tummy, and if anything, they will just deal with you accordingly. And she said, okay, Uncle Kurt, and she went in on the 29th. She called me the 29th and told me that she was going to be admitted as soon as a bed became available. I said, okay. Time going by, she keep informing me what was going on. They keep drawing blood from her daily, and she keep complaining about not passing stool. She keep complaining about feeling pain in her tummy. And they would say, okay, Miss Dunn, now we soon start you out now. We soon start you out. She called me July, I dropped the exact date, but it was last week, Friday, which was in August now. And she said, Uncle Kirk, they were supposed to take me to Ocho Rios to do an ultrasound. And the nurse told me that they don't have any ambulance and they are short of staff. I said, Punky, who told you that? She said, the nurse. I said, Punky, nothing can go like that. I said, I'm coming down there between tomorrow and Sunday. I went down there on Sunday. I spoke to her. She keep complaining about she has been in the hospital from the 29th. She has not passed any stool. And her belly was paining and killing her. And her belly was beginning to swell. I said, Punky, what the doctor says, because you must talk to the doctor. She said, Uncle Kirk, go talk to the doctor, no, man, because all me talk, me not get nothing from the damn doctor. I went to the nurse at the nursing station, and when I said, nurse, can I speak to the female doctor there behind you? She said to me, just a minute, sir. I waited about 10 to 15 minutes, and then she came back to me and said, the doctor said, your family member can speak to you. She's capable of speaking, and you're not the next of kin. And I said, miss, she sent me to the doctor, and the doctor is right there behind you. So just talk, tell me what's going on with her. Sir, the doctor said she's not coming. I said, okay, miss, thank you. And I step outside.
And just hold the story at stepping outside. We're going for a break, and then we'll come back to hear the rest.
Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life, while we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good.
Jamaica, stop the killing and give up the guns. Just live good now.
The time brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and Peace is...
It's 7:32.
Rev up your driving experience with the fuel-efficient Bike BJ30 SUV. For a limited time, the Bike BJ30 SUV is available for only $6.99 million. The temperature by Bike is
29 degrees Celsius in Kingston City, 30 degrees Celsius out west in Montego Bay, 25 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Cheryl, I can't believe it's back to school time again. I need so many things and I don't even know where to start.
Lisa, why are you stressing yourself out? Get to Azan Super Center.
Azan's? For back to school?
Yes, girl. I took my time, I went to Azan's and I got everything I was looking for. Stationery, laptop, thumb drives, backpack, lunch bag, water bottle, food containers, glue, art supplies, uniform, pen, pencil, folder.
It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825 to 8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
The following safety tip is brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and Peace. Ensure all the doors and windows are locked each time you leave your home, even if you're only stepping out for a few minutes. Stay alert. Stay safe. The preceding safety tip was brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and Peace.
Fresh box shoes bring back the days of full-time fun at Sun and Blazer. Take a long sip, bust a big smile. Play with your friends, chill for a while. The simple thing that make life nice. Fresh box shoes when it cold like ice. Enjoy the things you love the best. Treasure the memories, keep them fresh box shoes. Yeah. Fresh box shoes. Keep your memories fresh, yeah.
We're back with you. We're on the front page. We're speaking to Uncle Kirk and Mrs. Rose, who is the aunt of a 33-year-old woman who we're seeking some answers for, Kenise Dunn, based on alleged negligence following her death at the St. Anne's Bay Hospital. You were at the point, Uncle Kirk, of saying that you stepped outside.
Fast forward, I stepped outside and I made a call to Minister Lee, Junior Minister Lee, and my niece called me Monday morning to say to me she was being transported to Ocho Rios to get an ultrasound done. I said, okay, Punky, I will keep in touch with you. I called her back Monday night and I asked her, Punky, what's the latest? She said, she don't know yet, but because she don't get back results and the doctor won't come back to her. I said, okay, cool. I called her back Tuesday morning. When I called, I didn't get her. But a family member of mine was at the hospital. So he said when he went there, he saw some movements up by the maternity ward. So he went up there. And he said he didn't see her, but he saw a doctor moving vigorously and said they need to do an emergency surgery. No. And he needs to sign the documents for Kenise Dunn. By this time, Kenise Dunn had given birth to her son. She was taken to the theater. A surgery started. That was about 10 o'clock, or thereabout in the morning. I called 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, trying to find out when the surgery was over. So I said, no, man, this sounds like a major surgery. Because my cousin told me that the doctor told him that they did an x-ray, and based on what they've seen under her diaphragm, she had air under her diaphragm. So they're going to do a surgery to remove the air. So I thought it was just a normal surgery. Well, in the afternoon, my nephew called me back. And he said to me, Kirk, the doctor is asking for family members to come down to the hospital. I said, for what? Because by now I became very fearful, because I was like, it could never kill this little girl. So I went down there along with some other family members, and around 5 or thereabout, doctors, they were telling us that the surgery was done, and when they went in, they bucked up on something that they weren't bargaining for. They saw a tumor in her colon, and that they had to take out her colon, and that her bowels got ruptured, and they had to take out her large bowel. I said, Doc, stop. But this is a major surgery that you guys did on her. He said yes, and his exact word was a pressure burst pipe. So apparently, when she was giving birth, several things get damaged into her, and he said she's severely ill. You guys just need to keep praying and ask God to bring her through. I said, like I still don't understand. I said, like I still don't understand. You know. He said, well, inside of her, we found like about 2 liters of stool inside of her. I said, Doc, 2 liters of stool. So she's there from the 29th until, that's the issue. He said, no. He couldn't speak on that. He couldn't speak on that. I said, okay. He beginning to tell us that the tumor seems cancerous. I said, Doc, the tumor, according to you just took it out. How you come to the conclusion that that tumor is cancerous just hours since you have done a surgery? You don't send go do any testing or anything of that. He said, well, based on his training and his knowledge, he said it's very likely that it's a cancerous tumor. I said, oh, it's very suspicious. I said, okay, so okay. He beginning again to tell us that St. Anne's Bay cannot provide the care that she needs at that time because she was severely ill. And it's only 3 facilities in Jamaica, Cornwall, KPH, and UWI, that offer that care. And he said to basically she's on life support. I said, Doc, life support? He said, yes. So by then, I diagnosed to myself that something is just off with the entire surgery, and that Punky was literally clinching on to stay alive. I stepped outside again, and I made a call again to some friends and said, hey, I have a niece here. This is the situation. She needs help. She needs to be transferred to either KPH, UWI, or Cornwall. They said we're trying. The doctor said they did their checks and all the facilities are full and they can't take her. But if we can arrange, know anybody that we can get any help from to get things done. And I said, Doc, based on what you told me, she's partly ill. He said, yes, and her kidney is severely damaged, and her heart is severely damaged, and her white bone cells or marrow cells takes her bone marrow. The white cells take a severe hit. That was his exact word. Take a severe hit. I said, but, and he said the liver also got damaged. I said, but Doc, so many damage done to this little girl who come in your guys' facility, and you told us that all you're going to do was to release the air from under her diaphragm, the gas from under her diaphragm. He said, one thing I can tell you, she is severely ill. I said, okay. Another doctor turned to us and said, for the record, she passes stool. My record show me that she passes stool. I said, Doc, stop. She cannot pass stool based on I spoke to her Sunday. Her cousin spoke to her Monday. And the surgery is done today, Tuesday. What stool are you talking about, sir? And he said, well, stool can be made in some little pieces. I said, Doc, I hear you, but I don't hear you. And for that matter, sir, you say you found 2 liters into her. So how can you say she passed stool, sir? He said, I didn't say that, I didn't say words here. I said, Doc, something is not right. Doc. And he said, when I told him that she has been here from the 29th, and obviously nobody looked on her. I think she's a doctor, Nurse Robinson, said from the 29th. I said, yes, from the 29th she's here, and nobody looked at her. Well,
when I got the call Friday, after I was trying my best to call everybody in the world, the only person I can recall don't call was Donald Trump. I call every Jesus person I know. I try to save her. My reason for trying to save her was because I told her to go to the hospital, thinking that they would have little compassion for her. And when the call came Friday, that the family needs to come down to the hospital, I know that she was no longer with us. Her mother, Sunday gone yesterday, would have made 4 years anniversary of her mother's death. And when we took the mother, like the day out of St. Anne's Bay Hospital, and she died the next day, up to her very hand was crippled due to St. Anne's Bay Hospital. So the mother and the daughter suffered under St. Anne's Bay hand. And at this point, we're calling, in my opinion, that is, we're calling for justice for this young girl. It's not going to go like that. She died, leave a 3-day-old child among another 4-year-old child. It can't be business as usual at the St. Anne's Bay Hospital. It cannot be. It cannot be. Where is the compassion? There is no compassion. The very night that my niece deceased, I went into the room where she was, and a nurse look at me and said, "Sir, can I help you?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm here to my niece passed." And her exact word was, and it's the other nurse beside her said, "Sir, good evening. How may I help you?" And I said, my niece passed." And she said, "Okay." And the first nurse said, well, it's my station, and I'm entitled to talk. As a matter of fact, it's not visiting time now, I'm going to call the security. And I was like, where is the compassion? My niece is behind you, lying down, dead. And you're attacking me. Where is the compassion, St. Anne's Bay? It's crazy. They were trained to save life, in my opinion, and the care I saw, it left a lot to be desired. It left a lot to be desired.
Mrs. Rose?
Yes.
You were also a family member who went to the hospital?
No, I didn't went to the hospital. At the time of her death, I'm living in America right now. But I'm an aunt, and I'm also a registered nurse, and I know that the assessment was not carried out appropriately.
Just hold it right there. Hold it right there, Mrs. Rose, on the assessment to your niece. We're gonna take a break and come back with more on NTM.
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612-5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is...
It's 7:47.
Hawkeye is protecting homes, businesses, and communities with trusted security solutions. The temperature by Hawkeye, securing what matters most, is
29 degrees Celsius in Kingston City, 30 degrees Celsius out west in Montego Bay, 25 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Every great project starts at Creative Building Finishes, Jamaica's only choice for the best tiles, best bathrooms, and best kitchens. Whether you're designing, building, renovating, or selecting materials for your next project, we offer exceptional quality, standout designs, and expert guidance you can trust. Visit our showroom in Kingston or Draxall, or explore full range online at
Getting ready for back to school is as easy as KB. Shop at Kingston Bookshop from July 13, 2026 to September 5, 2026 for your chance to win big in our back to school promotion. Spend just $5,000 before GCT, shop online or in store, and you could win $200,000 cash, an HP laptop, or a Samsung Galaxy Tab S10. Pick up in store or shop online today. It's back to school the easy way, only at KB.
Discover something new. Discover the KB difference.
Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Back to school season has a way of sneaking up on you. First, it's books, then uniforms, school shoes, a laptop, lunch money, tuition, and somehow the list just keeps getting longer. But here's the good news. Preparing your child for the new school year doesn't have to put your financial goals on hold. With a Barita Merchant Bank back-to-school loan, you can borrow $500,000 and above to finance tuition, books, uniforms, laptops, and other school essentials. You'll also enjoy low rates, reduced fees, and up to 5 years to repay, giving you the flexibility to prepare with confidence. Call 876-618-3455 or email banksales@barita.com or visit baritamerchantbank.com/school loans.
Turn up to 25, turn up to 25. Could I drive out fresh in a MG ride with a staycation all inclusive flex? Yeah, hard to tell me the cash. Yes, smart TV, PS5, and home upgrade.
Turn up your winnings this summer with Digicel. Sign up or switch to postpaid or Digicel Plus. Buy a SIM. Top up with 5 bills or more. Buy a 7-day plan or higher. A smartphone deal or just pay your bill. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Promotion period June 24 to September 5, 2026. Visit DigicelJamaica.com for terms and conditions.
Summer just got cooler, and so did the prices. LG air conditioners are now at lower prices at Active Home Center. 12,000 BTU, $59,997 plus GCT. 18,000 BTU, $85,997 plus GCT. 24,000 BTU, $106,997 plus GCT. And if Bally's your brand, the offer still stands. Buy any Bally air conditioner and get $15,000 to spend on your next purchase store-wide. Conditions apply. Active Home Center. More savings, more choices.
Well, welcome back to Nationwide this morning, having a conversation with Kirk and Mrs. Rose in relation to their niece, 33-year-old Kenise Dunn, who died at the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, the family accusing the hospital of negligence following her death at the facility. And Mrs. Rose, Kurt did a pretty good job of explaining his experience, what happened with Kenise, and the actions taken by the medical professionals based on his observations and what he was told as well by the cousin who had visited the facility while he was away. And just to get your reaction this morning, after you were told all of that by Kirk and perhaps other family members, how do you feel, and what would you like to be seen done now?
So the thing is this, the fact is that she has been hospitalized for over 3 weeks. And she came in for her main complaint was pain and not being able to have a bowel movement. Assessment for me as a nurse was not done correctly. They should have palpated or do a rectal, a rectal procedure to see if she had any hard stool. Then a suppository or a manual removal of the stool should have been carried out. Then the medical professional should have know that it has not been effective. Instead, they give, according to what I've heard, they have given that they have told the patient, my niece, and her spouse or boyfriend, that they should purchase supplies to do an enema, which should not be done by them. I mean, after all, she is hospitalized. It should have been carried out by a medical professional. Then they would have known that it would have been ineffective because there is a blockage. It would have been ineffective, and then that would have indicated a red flag for further tests, which was not done. If they had done, if the medical professional had carried out that, like to do an enema, and it wasn't effective because of the blockage, then further tests would have been done. Also,
did you say edema?
She's hospital. Yeah, an enema.
Which is
Sorry?
Which is? You said edema.
Enema.
For the
Enema.
Right. Assist our listeners, us here, an enema.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Tell us what
So,
that is.
so it's a procedure that's used to remove stool from the rectum.
Okay. But
That
what would
can be done by saline or oil. It's a special instruction, but it should have been done by a professional. That's what I'm saying. And they allow my niece and her spouse to do it. What is a possibility that it was not being done properly? It should have been done by a nurse or a doctor, and that way they could have done the proper administration and also to see the effectiveness of this procedure. Then they would have known that there's an obstruction and do further tests. Further tests were not done to my niece. They should have done an X-ray of the men, an MRI, or better yet, a CT scan, which would have showed the exact blockage and what's causing it. That was not done. They would have seen that, because of this blockage of whatever is causing it, especially because it's a bowel obstruction, because according to them, she had severe bowel obstruction. An IV should have been started. Antibiotic IV should have been started. A cesarean should have been done, not to have her push. And that's so wrong. They shouldn't have allowed her to push, because then she pushed and then a really compromised obstruction has been ruptured. So for me, the assessment was just not right by the staff.
And for the family now, where do you go from here?
Well, at this point in time, we're awaiting an investigation that we're told is on way. And we await with bated breath. At this point in time, we're going to wait on the findings from the investigation, because we don't want any stone to be left unturned. This time around, where Sentence Bay is concerned, let the chips fall where they may. You think it's an easy feeling to send your niece to the hospital? You convince her to go because you said, hey, I have faith in the system. It can work. Just go. They will deal with you. I depend on the doctors and nurse for her. And to know that she lost her life on this same person, in my opinion, that I sent her to, all because of negligence. This is something now I have to live with for the rest of my life. I feel guilty. I feel culpable. There must be accountable. There must be accountability. And where change needs to come, change needs to come. It can't be business as usual at the hospital. It can't be business.
Another thing that I have
compassion must be the first order of the day. Care and compassion.
Mrs. Rose, you're making an intervention there?
Yeah, like what I'm saying, that for me, as a nurse also, and for Punky's aunt, the assessment was poor, and even probably ignoring the patient. Because if they had looked, that they had known or they were properly trained or they weren't ignoring her, they would have seen the sign that something is wrong. I mean, she was having confusion because there's excess inflammation in her body. She's having severe pain. And if they're saying that she had a bowel movement, what kind of bowel movement is it? Because if she's having like loose stool, that can happen with an obstruction, because there's so many buildup of fluids. The blockage is there, and then there's sweeping of fluids. So if that's what they're saying, that was documented that she has bowel movement, that was just inappropriate. And something has to be done to prevent these things from happening again.
And Kurt,
another thing that I personally have witnessed, because I was there on the phone constantly, is that they have given her IV morphine, and she was having a reaction to it. Any medical professional should know that whenever a patient is having any kind of reaction, she was scratching a lot, right? They should have stopped the medication immediately and to give an antidote for that medication.
that was not done. So we don't know what took place. There's so many unanswered questions that it really puzzles me about the whole system. And I'm very disappointed. And now here we are, a little bit shy of 4 years, burying my niece again. My sister died 4 years. Very similar. It's like a deja vu for me. The family is very broken, and something needs to be done. We need answers. That's true.
And those answers you say, Kurt, might be in that investigation. Who indicated to you that an investigation is underway?
Persons from the ministry, from the Ministry of Health, they would have reached out to me over the weekend and said that they're going to launch an investigation starting sometime today, I was told.
Well, we here at Nationwide, we do extend our deepest regards to you, Kirk, Mrs. Rose, and the rest of the family. We are keeping you in our prayers, and any update that does come on this matter, please feel free to reach out to us and let us know.
One final point.
Yes,
in my humble opinion, I think sepsis did occur.
Yes, it has to be because
because of that 2 liter of stool that was found. That's just common sense. Common sense.
Common sense. Like I said, like I've been saying that because of the symptoms, all the symptoms, the increased confusion, severe pain, gas, those are all indication of excess inflammation in your body, which is sepsis.
Absolutely.
And that's
Absolutely.
why she have all those organ damage, because when the body is going through sepsis, it's causing all the organs to start deteriorate. And that was not treated. She should have never pushed. They should have never allowed her to push. A cesarean should have been done. It should have been done.
Well, you know, this is indeed a story that we'd want to follow up on. So we await the update on that investigation, but we thank you guys for sharing with us, for coming on and sharing. It's a sad story, but it is important that the word gets out and that persons are hearing the story and that opportunity is given. That's all the time we have this morning, and it was Uncle Kirk and Aunt Mrs. Rose joining us to speak to us on Kenny's Dunn and the fact that they're seeking answers around what occurred, what occurred at the hospital. And of course, we want those answers. We need them to get those answers, and we want to know exactly what happened and, what recourse, if any, we really want to know. But as it stands, we're out of time, and we're going for a break. After this, we'll have Across Jamaica. Stick with us.
It's time for Hot Listings, Nationwide 90 FM's on-air classifieds, made for quick ads and fast results.
Looking for flawless, healthy nails? Come to the Nail Guru JA Nail Salon for a look you'll love. We offer manicures, pedicures, acrylic, polygel, gel-X, and builder gel. So don't wait. Visit the Nail Guru, Shop 13, 6 Red Hills Road. Book your appointment today. Call 876-347-1538. That's 876-347-1538.
That was Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM. Listings start as low as $1,500. Call 876-630-1210 to book yours today.
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
3 minutes after 8.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, It's Across Jamaica This Morning.
Taking you across Jamaica this Monday morning, Monday, August 17, 2026, in St. Elizabeth. Carisbrook Infant and Primary School has received a donation of supplies and technological devices from the Jamaica chapter of Women's International Shipping and Trading Association, WISTA, and its partners. Among the items are tablets, books, stationery, and a printer and laptop. WISTA says the donation is valued at over $850,000 and is intended to help the school recover from the impacts of Hurricane Melissa, which struck in October last year. The handover was on Saturday on the school campus. Speaking at the ceremony, Principal Patrick Malcolm outlined the extent of the damage due to the storm. He says everything was wiped out, including laptops, smart boards, and student records. Principal Malcolm says some of the donated resources from WISTA will be kept at the school, while others will be distributed to students for use at home. There are 137 students on roll at Carisbrook. WISTA Jamaica's partners in the effort were the Jamaica Emancipendence Cultural Society from New York, the Kiwanis Club, a string of corporate sponsors, and members of the diaspora. The organization's president, Nicole Wickham, says it was her personal experience with Hurricane Gilbert in 1988 that influenced her decision to support communities affected by Melissa. In Trelawney, justices of the peace in the parish hosted a back-to-school health and social fair at Wakefield Baptist Church last Tuesday. The initiative, organized by the Falmouth Zone of the Trelawney JPs Association, provided supplies, medical services, and information from major government agencies. Chairman of the association, Reverend Junior Rutty, says the event was oversubscribed, attracting more than 200 students on the day when the plan was to reach 50. He says the organizers took the deliberate step to stage the event in the more rural area of Wakefield to reach deeper into communities, particularly amid the fallout from Hurricane Melissa. According to Reverend Rutty, the back-to-school fair was motivated by a desire to serve communities beyond the traditional functions typically associated with JPs. Meanwhile, Custos Rotolorum of Trelawney, Hugh Gentles, says it was a meaningful way to ease the financial burden on families. Finally, in across Jamaica this Monday morning in Kingston, a 25-year-old woman has been charged with obtaining money by means of false pretense. She is Brittany Sylvester of Seaview Gardens, Kingston 11. The police say the charge stems from an online transaction between Thursday, May 22, 2025, and Wednesday, May 28, 2025. Reports from the Seaview Gardens police are that the complainant transferred $103,000 to Sylvester's bank account for the purpose of obtaining a Canadian work permit and visa as a part of a Canadian work placement program. Sylvester, however, failed to provide the services for which she received the money. She was arrested after a report was made to the police and was later charged. She is scheduled to appear in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Monday, September 7. That's it for Across Jamaica for this Monday morning.
Donovan, me say pressure and sugar kill so many people in our good Jamaica.
June, that's why I say you have to take charge of your health. You need to check your pressure and your sugar regularly.
And do miss a doctor or clinic appointment.
Cut out the junk food and stick to healthy foods.
Do at least 30 minutes of exercise a day time.
And make sure you take your meds at the right time, every time. For more information, visit ncdip.moh.gov.jm. Take charge of your health.
Timing, strategy, precision. For over a decade, Sagicor Investments has set the standard for performance. We deliver results that speak for themselves. Number one, in value traded on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Jamaica's largest unit trust fund manager with diversified investments and unmatched capital markets expertise. Take the first step towards a portfolio built on consistent performance. Call 888 Sagicor to speak with a wealth advisor.
At Sherwin-Williams, we're proud to continue delivering the quality products and dependable service you've trusted for years. Our commitment to serving you remains stronger than ever. Whether you are refreshing a room, protecting a commercial property, or tackling your next big project, you can count on us for premium coatings, expert advice, and reliable support every step of the way. Visit your nearest Sherwin-Williams store today and discover why professionals and homeowners continue to choose Sherwin-Williams. Same trusted company, same premium quality, same dependable service.
Attention all data protection enthusiasts. Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM every Tuesday at 8:20 a.m. and Thursday at 8:25 a.m. for Data Protection Matters. Join us as we delve into crucial topics that will keep you informed and compliant. Data Protection Matters is hosted by Chuck Cameron, founder of Design Privacy, your trusted partner in data protection. Don't miss out. That's every Tuesday morning at 8:20 and every Thursday at 8:25 a.m. Stay protected, stay informed with Nationwide 90 FM and Design Privacy.
Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. It's that time of the morning when we take some of your calls or numbers, 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-6730. A lot of comments in the chat, Sandre. I did see one of our YouTubers asking earlier, why was he calling Miss Lee? And I was saying to you off air, we know why he was calling Miss Lee, because many instances interacting with medical practitioners in hospitals in Jamaica, you'll find that you're just not getting anywhere. This is not there, that is not there. What they're telling you is not available from what is available. And people who are just not moving with any sort of urgency to a matter that is clearly urgent. And you have to reach out to either somebody you know in the hospital, somebody in the hierarchy of the hospital, or you have to step out of the hospital and reach out to somebody higher up in the Ministry of Health. And then as soon as those people take particular actions, call people and say, hey, what's happening, blah, blah, blah. Not long after that, you see everybody running up and down. This is now magically available. All of a sudden, they're able to do this, they're able to do that. So we know exactly why Uncle Kirk was calling the State Minister of Health and Wellness, because he was getting nowhere and needed somebody else in authority to intervene and do something. And as soon as the state minister made that call, all of a sudden now they're able to find an ambulance to take Kenise to the other medical facility to have that ultrasound done. Yeah.
And, you know,
And
it
it's not
makes-
just hospitals.
Yeah, it makes me
It's-
think about the general problem that we have in our society, Tana. It's a customer service problem. It's an emotional intelligence problem. It's a people loving people and just caring for people. It's people not projecting things happening to them onto you when you go to get a service, meaning having that level of professionalism.
Mhm.
And I say that to say, you know, that person who is asking why he would call Miss Lee, I can't believe you even asked the question. I've literally, before we come to Dwayne, I've literally gone to a particular bank of mine that I usually go to, and I went one day, Turner,
Mhm.
using this bank as an example. I went one day, sat down in the bank, got a number. I realized I was taking, I didn't want to take the day from work. So I
Yeah.
said, you know, let me get a number and see how quickly we can go through. Okay, 2 hours passed. They haven't gotten to me as yet. I left, went, did business on the road, went back to work, went back to the bank about 3, thereabout. They still hadn't got to my number. And I sat there, and it was about roughly 5 o'clock before my number was called. I remember I'm telling you, I went early. I
Wow.
went in the morning. I joined the line outside the bank, and that's the time they got to me. And I sat there, and I was like, the customer service rep said, well, you know, just gave me some explanation, and then eventually they got around to it. And I sat there knowing full well I could have called somebody that's in charge of the banks in a particular area and just. But then I'm saying,
You shouldn't have to
I don't have to
call
I don't have to. If I
somebody.
go to another country and I want to do anything in the bank, I can be in and out in 30 minutes.
Mhm.
I should never have to call. All these things I experience in public and private sector, in just service and time and efficiency, it's just bad. You know, I should never have to need to call anybody to receive a service, to receive some compassion, to receive somebody just actually communicating with me. I should not need to do it ever. No citizen, none, not one. It doesn't matter your class, creed, race, color. It doesn't matter. You should not need to do that. But the fact that he needed to do that is what is it really stirs everything within me, because it is something consistent and constant, as if, you know, they talk about links in Jamaica, but it's annoying. It's annoying of a process, because you can go to another country and be a nobody and you get through in no time in all the spaces that you think of. But it is a requirement for me to have somebody's number, to call them, to get any type of reprieve or any type of answer or just human communication. It is sad. It is distasteful. It is a part of our society I abhor, and it is something that we really, 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 really need to fix, because it's bad. It's really bad. But I won't say any more. Dwayne is on the line.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning to you, Dwayne.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about 2 points this morning. The one that you're speaking about now.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was in CIDC in Mandeville, and you were in the line for about an hour,
Mm-hmm.
and you haven't seen nobody move. And, you know, when you go there, you might see 4 persons, and by the same day, you see 20.
Mm-hmm.
And the supervisor on the line doing that, he seems fit to say, you know, let me put another person in the line. All you can see, each time you see a window closed, they're going for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no system as to how people go on lunch, because as pharmacy, the customer make the bread, have butter on it, okay? And if there is no customer, how do you get people to bank money for you to get interest from them? And you have them in the bank house sitting down there for hours, and no supervisor move to say, here, Mr. Malakriti, to say, put somebody in the line, and you go in most of the bank, and that is what is happening in the bank today. Customer service in Jamaica is a joke.
Mm-hmm.
So you're correct on that point. The next point to talk about this morning was which was touching me, when you're at the stoplight and people, as soon as the amber on the other side, especially if you have a four-wheel, you have the arrow, the turn light, turn there. People just start to beat you to their hand. I'm telling you this. I am not going to move my vehicle and stoplight I drive me. And me I drive. So the stoplight does not drive my car. I drive my car. So if you could have bloated small man until me look up and down and see clearly that nobody's beating the arrow, the amber, and I say, I'm not going to move my car.
Yeah.
That's me. I don't care. And secondly, I went to the public hospital one time. I was going to the hospital. Pray for people and, thinking and, encouraging them. And I saw this gentleman in the hospital. I think he had 1 foot. And he was begging me, crying like a baby, saying to me, if I can take him home because I have nobody to take to go home to. Now, some people treat them family, but sometimes after they left, they abandon them too. And some you treat them good and they abandon you too. But the people of Jamaica need to know our tax dollars are paying for the hospital system. Government don't have a business. The amount of tax that they collected, that's what they use to run the hospital, the police, the soldier, the nurse, the warders, the prison, everything. So if we put too much pressure on the health system, the health system will fall down. And people are just killing off themselves on the roads, and bike accidents, killing themselves with vehicle accidents, and they're eating anything and doing and behaving all sorts of way. And when they're sick now, they go in the hospital and lay down and tell us the government not the government. How much we can hold the hospital at the same time? Tell me.
Exactly, Dwayne. But it appears they're not making that connection. The very important connections that they need to make, many of them driving out there now, Dwayne, listeners and Sundry, are the breadwinners in their family too, And them not think about, say, okay, if me drop out, who takes care of my kids, who takes care of my wife, my mother, my ailing father, whatever the circumstances are.
But
nobody's thinking about that. Nobody's thinking about their fellow woman on the road going about their business lawfully and in a responsible manner. Nobody's thinking about that. Oh, just vibes.
But you know what touched me more anything else is when you get crushed, right? And you lose your 2 foot. And when you go find someone who can take care of you, and your family can't take care of you now.
Exactly.
Because if you're dead and you're gone, is a tragedy. Yes, but when you're sick, and you're not dead, and you live for the next 20, 15 years, and people have to take care of you now and change your nappy for you. And that's the problem,
Exactly.
So if we recognize that we are driving, that we have a responsibility to take care of ourselves, that our family will not be mourning and going through pressures to bury us, and perhaps loans to bury us, and all that kind of thing. They will recognize that their life is important, not only to themselves and to God, but they must recognize the state are going under severe pressure to take care of them and their family. And that is what's supposed to be happening. If people are thinking rationally and think government don't own business, the amount of money that they collected for tax, that is what they run the after. They have enough, it can't run.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Take care.
Thank you for your intervention this morning, Dwayne. We take a break here on NTM and come back with more of your calls and your interactions in the YouTube chat.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is...
It's 8:21.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The temperature by Fontana Pharmacy, it's all good inside, is
30 degrees Celsius in Kingston City, 29 degrees Celsius out west in Montego Bay, 26 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Every school is free of unhealthy, ultra-processed products. You know, those high in salt, fats, and sugar. If only that weren't a dream. The reality is that many children have an unhealthy diet at school, and 23% of them are overweight or obese. This can lead to hypertension, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. Let's protect our children's right to health with a policy for schools that prevents unhealthy food marketing and ensures access to nutritious foods. The time is now. Let's implement the National School Nutrition Policy. A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
Live summer brighter. No need to delay. Sagicor Bank's unsecured loan gives you up to 5 years to repay. New furniture's calling. Go solar at home. Get renovating. Or get a back-to-school loan. Competitive rates. Fast approval. Zero hassle. No sweat. Get it all for the summer. Borrow up to 5 mil. No collateral needed to get whatever you will. Live summer brighter with a Sagicor Bank unsecured loan. Call 888 Sagicor to learn more. Conditions apply.
That Megamart receipt could be worth more than you think. Spend $6,500 or more before GCT. WhatsApp a picture of your receipt and your name to the number provided, and you could be one of our weekly winners in Pick Your Win. Every week, one winner at each Megamart store gets the exciting chance to choose the household appliance, home decor, bedding, or wall art of their choice. Don't just shop. Shop for the chance to pick your win. Promotion runs until September 5th, 2026. Only at Megamart. Best value by far. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Conditions apply.
From the farmers in the fields, to the bakers who prepare it, to the teams that deliver every day, Juicy is built by Jamaicans. To our partners, thank you for standing with us. Juicy Patties, serious Jamaican food.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. DSG, good morning.
Good morning. It's not GS, it's CSD.
CSD.
Right,
Got it.
right,
Good
right,
morning.
right.
Good morning,
Good
CSD.
morning. You know, I called to say that, see, Chest Hospital is one of the best hospitals in a Kingston, Jamaica. And all of them hospitals need to take a paid out of Chest Hospital. That cannot think themselves too bigger than you. Down to the little man, you all walk and you look like you're tumbling. You see a man run come and say, you want me to put you into one of the
wheelchair?
Wheelchair. Sometimes me go up there from the, like the wheelchair thing. And when they come and say, you want me to put you in the wheelchair, I carry up to the me say, no man, me want one. One of the best hospital, me I tell you. Chest Hospital. Big up to Chest Hospital.
Some of our YouTubers agreeing with you.
Outdoor patient right to the ward. The best. I ain't not gonna go see no fly. I ain't not gonna go see no dirty ward. Clean place. Them Christopher need for this guy himself and go through the hospital. Come out of the office. Because I go through the hospital and I know what going in there.
That is coming.
That
is coming.
Every minute you see them on phone. Doctor can't look at me, me go public and doctor can't look at me and tell me same have no name. Why are you in a public hospital at work?
What did you say? You said eh.
So basically you ask the doctor for his name and doctor say him have no name.
When I ask him, doctor, what is the name, please? I don't have one. And him go on. The doctor before him send me go do a test and me get the result and me assure me him say don't want to see it. So you know, so me go to the complaint department and I get I must have about 100 leaf. Me have to go start pull out. So me starting it this morning. Cause me tell him say me nah let it go. Me can't go hospital and you tell me say you know no name, you know want to see it, and you go tell me say me no need a prescription after me have a back injury. Pain not kill me. Them need to take a page as Christopher Tufton, need to come out and jacket and come in a short pants and disguise himself and go through and so on. And these are just like a few comments.
Well, thank you so much for them, CSD.
Thank you.
CSD, no common sense degree.
There we go.
All right.
Thank you. Who do we have next? Ray.
Good morning, Chana and Sanjay.
Good morning to you, Ray.
I just want to touch on the point made by the MP of Portland, right? And just to question
East
the
or
leadership.
West?
I'm not sure, but it's Mr. Buchanan,
right?
East
Portland, yeah.
Yeah. And just to question the leadership of the PNP and to ask what standard is being used to run the PNP. Is it based on loyalty, your years of service, or the amount of money you have? Because I can recall that Mr. Meadows would have made similar comments, but these comments are even worse. And what was levied to Mr. Meadows, I have not seen anything said, even by civil society, about the comments that Mr. Buchanan has made. So that is an indictment on the PNP's leadership to say what standards are being used to run the party. I just want to hear your comments on those.
Well, would you say, Ray, this has been placed on the table that, listen, with much chatter that there could be some sort of leadership election coming, that it seems as if the party leader's hands are tied as to how he can chastise errant members of his party or front runners, spokespersons?
Well, that might be so, but remember, you're the government in waiting, and us out here are looking on to see what steps are being made and stuff to say if and when the time comes, if we should give you that opportunity, how are you going to operate?
Certainly, looking on it, it's weak. It's definitely wanting. These are very, very concerning comments from somebody who you've placed in charge of, to speak on behalf of the party in a particular capacity. And for him to say something so boldly to Jamaicans and other people listening, and for the party leader to not have said anything about it, and then I believe it was the next day, had the very same opposition spokesperson behind him on a tour and speaking as if everything is, as if everything is okay and fine and dandy. I think it's insulting to reasonable-minded Jamaicans who are looking on, insulting to the Jamaica Constabulary Force, any other security agency carrying out law enforcement and pushing back against scamming, insulting to our government, insulting to taxpayers, and insulting to the very people as well in Cooper's Pen affected by this demolition exercise. Because how is it that you're going to tell them that, listen, even though you're not affected, just pop off a foot off our bed and go over there and say, yeah, man, I was affected too. So you can chop your line in that way. How does that...
When I heard the comment, sorry to cut you, I couldn't believe that is a member of parliament that we, the citizens, would have put in parliament to represent us. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. And when you do that, if it is that, because it has been indicated now by the Prime Minister that he does intend to help the people in Cooper's Bend. Say, for example, $10 is placed on the table for that. When you tell other people to go over there now with Bedfoot or whatever else and say they were affected too. So those people affected, if they were supposed to get $2 each, you're basically pulling away from a reasonable share that they were supposed to get.
And that's one of the
you can't come out here and encourage stuff that is criminal or is not right and decent in the eyes of well-thinking Jamaicans. You can't do that and expect well-thinking Jamaicans to still look at you in Parliament and carry a certain level of respect for you. I don't know, Ray, some of the new breed parliamentarians that I'm seeing now, but I'm ashamed.
Why?
I sit here, I'm a feel shame because I'm saying, what is happening? The Parliament is supposed to represent that higher office where there's a certain level of decency, respect, you carry yourself a particular way, a certain level of decorum. When you hear a parliamentarian speak, you're supposed to stop and listen and say, this person is saying something that's respectable, that's making sense, that is reasonable, something that you can listen to and take away from it. It resonates in a good way. This is resonating in a horrible way.
One of the things I realized, Tana, is that the PNP is stuck in election mode. Election has ended from last year, right? So they need to get on to business.
But his comment, Ray, wasn't even an election comment. It's just a really awful thing that shouldn't be on the mind of a parliamentarian. Listen, even if you're thinking it, parliamentarians are held to a higher level. So you're supposed to, anything you're saying to the people of this nation, you're supposed to think twice about it.
But
just jump and say stuff because what you say holds supposed to hold a certain weight.
Yeah, I've been holding my comment on this matter for a bit, but Ray, we're going to have to break with you because we're going for a quick break. We'll be right back.
Rebuild with standards, rebuild with confidence. Test your blocks, concrete, cement, aggregates, and other building materials at the Bureau of Standards Jamaica. The BSJ, building a nation, test by test. The time by the BSJ is...
It's 8:33.
Feel the rhythm of nature at the world-famous Duns River Falls and Park, one of Jamaica's most iconic experiences. The temperature by the Urban Development Corporation is...
It's 30 degrees Celsius in Kingston City, 29 degrees Celsius out west in Montego Bay, and 26 degrees Celsius in the cool hills of Mandeville.
Heading back to university this summer? You're probably thinking about tuition, books, and maybe even replacing that laptop that's been hanging on by a thread. We've all been there. The good news? Paying for your education doesn't have to happen all at once. With a Barita Merchant Bank tertiary loan, you can borrow $500,000 and above, repay over up to 5 years, and even begin repaying while you study. So you can spend less time worrying about how to pay for school and more time focusing on what really matters: graduating. Call 876-618-3455 or email banksales@barita.com or visit baritamerchantbank.com/school loans. Barita Merchant Bank, let's get you there.
Need to make a change to your title or need a title? Geoland Title Limited is the place to be. They do lost title application, add and remove names from titles, wills, estates, first-time registration, land surveys included, affordable rates and flexible payment options, National Land Agency adjudication and land titling waivers available. They have 8 locations island-wide. Call 876-754-6436 or visit their website at geolandonline.com. Geoland Title Limited. Secure your land, secure your title.
Live summer brighter. No need to delay. Sagicor Bank's unsecured loan gives you up to 5 years to repay. New furniture's calling. Go solar at home. Get renovating or get a back-to-school loan. Competitive rates, fast approval, zero hassle, no sweat. Get it all for the summer. Borrow up to 5 mil. No collateral needed to get whatever you will. Live summer brighter with a Sagicor Bank unsecured loan. Call 888 Sagicor to learn more. Conditions apply.
Good morning to you. We are on Nationwide this morning. We have been taking calls and having a number of discussions, and I tried to reserve my comment as best I could about this entire situation based on, just the understanding. I pondered on it last evening for a long while, Tana, to wonder if we live in a democracy. I question that fact because in a democracy, the understanding is simple, right? You have parties going up against each other, and one party wins. Now, I think we have a misconception to think that the JLP or the PMP controls government. No, they are stewards. I've heard the Prime Minister use that word a lot. Stewards of our affairs. Because they have won for a set time period, they now have the stewardship of our affairs. Who holds them to account? The people that elect them. Nobody owns the government but me and you, the citizens. We own and employ the member of parliaments, the ministers. We, me and you, tax-paying citizens, we own and employ the government. For somebody who is a part of the government, because whether you are opposition member of parliament, government member of parliament, whichever member of parliament, senate, whatever you are a part of the governance infrastructure of this island, Jamaica land we love. For you to make a statement that is injurious to the government of Jamaica, it also means your irresponsibility for wanting populism and popularity and to bond with the people. Because that's what he's doing. He's using his words and his demeanor to bond with the people, to connect with his audience. His audience that he still would want an opportunity to help to lead. It is self-inflicting damage in its own right. Everybody is surprised now, but I am not surprised because this is not new. This is the demeanor, this is the way this particular member of parliament has always gone about his public comments. He's always been unfiltered. It's nothing new. But what it says to me is that there's a misunderstanding of democracy by some people, because you think that if the government fails, it benefits you. No, because guess what? You're disenfranchising me. Because if the government wins on a policy position that benefits the people win. If the government executes something that benefits all of us, we win. If all the roads are fixed, we all win. If the hospitals are working well, we all win. There cannot be a world where we are so undemocratic just because we are not the stewards of the day. It makes absolutely no sense, because what you're creating a slippery slope wherein, when it is the case that somebody else becomes the steward, that the next side is going to do exactly what you've done. And that is the problem that we're seeing. If you can't look in yourself and find that problematic, then do you believe in democracy? You don't. And that is what I'm saying. If you really believe in democracy, remember, the government of Jamaica is not the JLP government of Jamaica. No, it's the government of Jamaica. Jamaican citizens, all of us, all Jamaicans need the government to succeed, and every policy, every naira, every road need for build, every hospital need to fix, because it benefits me, it benefits you, it benefits all of us. And that is why we want an efficient working system where we don't need to call nobody, we don't need to have no links. We can literally work, go about our business, get services at our fingertips, and have an efficient system that works for every single citizen. That's what we're working towards. And if that can happen, I am one that's advocating for that. We can't have people literally praying for, calling for, on social media saying, government downfall every day. What's the point? What's the point? If there's a downfall, it's not just downfall to benefit you, you know. That downfall hurts me. It hurts Glaister, it hurts Chris, Patrick, Donovan, it hurts all of us. And that is my problem with this entire situation. It makes me think, if you believed in democracy and you run an election, how do you then become so undemocratic afterwards? But Del is on the line.
Del?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, morning, Del.
Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning to you, Del.
How are you?
I'm good. You?
I'm good also.
What's on your mind?
I was saying about that lady that died in the hospital. I feel it so much. I'm so feeling sorry for her and the family. Yes, if it was me, I would move her to our next hospital. I would move her maybe to Mandeville. Mandeville is a good hospital.
You're from Mandeville, Del?
Yes, I'm from Manchester.
Okay.
My nephew took sick the other day, and he went to hospital. He have something like hernia. I don't remember the name. Not hernia, though.
Appendicitis?
Yes.
Okay.
And the doctor told him whether money or not, we are going to do your surgery. Whether money or not, we are going to do the surgery. And they did his surgery, and he's out now.
Very well. Very well.
So, you know, I'm so happy for those people, all of us that are living in Manchester. And not only Manchester, people go to Mandeville Hospital, though. You have people from Senti and all about.
Yes.
Yapin, Clarendon also. You know, the doctors there, they try their best. So if it was me and my sister, my daughter, I would move her. I wouldn't take a chance. I would move her to another hospital.
Yeah.
Because they definitely find out that they wasn't paying attention to her.
It seems efforts were made to get her to one of the facilities that could best deal with her case, but I think the uncle was saying that space was the issue.
Yes, and well, I don't want to say I blame the uncle for his feeling bad already, but I really wouldn't advise her to go there since her mother has a problem there. I wouldn't advise her to go there. I would try and help her to go somewhere else. Somewhere else. Even if the baby was coming, I would still have to move her. can't take no chances. I don't really like to take chances, and I don't watch sickness.
Yeah.
Whether I have money or not, I don't watch sickness. I don't plan to, and I don't want to, and I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thanks
That's
for
my-
reaching out
Thanks,
to us this
Del.
morning, Miss Del.
Yes, that's my little piece.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. Take care.
Thank you for your intervention.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's good, Tana, because I don't want people to be of the perception that we're beating down on the doctors and the people at the hospital, because we know that they're good doctors, we know that they're good nurses, we know they're good people in the system.
Absolutely.
But again, the advocacy that we will have to always push is that the system must work well, if not all of the time, 99% of the time, for all the citizens, to ensure that everything works properly and that people are treated with respect, are communicated with, and that their best interest is looked after. That's what we want. And I say as 100% is where I think the bar is for me, you know. But people, their mistakes will happen, but I still think we have to work towards 100%.
Ben,
Yes, yes.
good morning.
Good morning to
Good
you.
morning. Good morning, folks. Sanjay. Give me estimate to me how old you are.
You don't want to know my age for Ben, but not tell you my age.
Now tell you why.
Tell me why.
I've given me hope as a man in my 60s. They do the vital and the violence here in Jamaica. And what I said this morning, that is simply the reason why this country cannot move. Because people believe when you're out of power, they must destroy the state. Not realizing, if it's the civics at school, they say that the government is made by both the opposition and the ruling party. And it seems like number MP don't know the civics at school, and just go to university and get them PhD, passport control department. Yeah, man, passport control and old department. That's what them better be using. That's not, I should have learned nothing else. Because when I hear some people supposed to be attorney at the law, and what at the then name, I start a letter talking garbage. It burns me. I've been to university for a short while by way of the state. And I have wondered why people go to university and come out like incomplete. Why? No common sense.
Yeah.
After 4 years of study and 7 years of study, come out like a big fool. Most of the person normally say the biggest dunce in Jamaica is people pass to university. And people ask why. No receipt. Every day we see more and more. Some biggest dunce here, you know? Where am I here from America? And then we cap. Oh, something we actually eat so I so completely agree to go to school. I can people it, make it clear. So I know they can like it. You know, my son, when you ask me, is an idiot. And these gentlemen and gentlemen, ladies and call them that, behave like they make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Before they do, when last the government get an increase in salary? Before they get 20%. You can't get it how much years before?
It was 20 plus years before.
Okay. So if you divide the 20 into the 200, they deserve it. And none of the union did not look at that to realize that 20 years we get nothing. We get bonded and funded and standed. Right? Then we realize they need to work out that. And another person in civil service did get a 20% increase. Principals, 20 senior police officers, senior nurses. And then we realize they don't get this to then get 20%. Are we so blind by politics or politics? Goodbye. Enjoy the day, both of you. Love you.
All right. Thank you, Ben.
All right, Ben.
Good morning to you. Yeah, it's, I tell you. You see, I try not to comment on these things in a ton, because if I really were to do a soliloquy and all these things that I'm seeing, he said it best tonight. He said it best he said it simple, but yeah, you expect it's creating these false expectations of people that you assume that based on their training that they would comport themselves a certain way. And I've just realized over time that I have to disassociate myself from any assumption that people will comport themselves the way that they are either trained to comport themselves or the way that society has dictated that, listen, this is a good way to comport oneself. And now that it is even more so in the open and we're seeing the realities that exist, it's really a turn off for many citizens.
I'm ashamed.
You just sit and you're just like, why? Like what in you made you think that was the best thing to do at the time that you did it? It's just,
well, Sandra, it tells you a lot about the mindset. Yeah, it tells you a lot about the mindset. But you're right. Certain places that's supposed to hold up particular standards, the people and their mindset in those places of high standard just mashing it down one day at a time, and that's sad.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is...
It's 8:49.
No one remember who Marcus Garvey. No one remember who Marcus Garvey. No one remember who Marcus Garvey. No one remember him. No one talking about Paul Bogle. They been talking about William Gardner. They been talking about Norman Washington Manley, including Bustamante. No one remember old Marcus Garvey. No one remember old Marcus Garvey.
Birthday time! It's birthday time, it's birthday time, it's birthday time. Heavy morning at Satana, but it's still birthdays, and I'm excited about birthdays. And I have happy birthday to DSP Clive Wright over there in the Trelawney division, Dr. Kevin KJ Waite from Atlanta, Mrs. Nadine Bailey Clark in the US, Sergeant Andrew Williams, happy birthday to you. He's in Kingston. Mr. Anthony Stulz from Savlamar, very special happy birthday to you. Mr. Dwight Ruddock, happy birthday to you from over there in Sav. Miss Anna Burgess in Sav as well, coming from Sergeant Wayne Wallace. A very special happy birthday to you all, and we wish you many, many, many more years, because we know that we want you to have all the long life, the success, the happiness, and the joy that comes with that.
Happy birthday greetings also going out to our friends on Facebook. Kevin Williams, happy birthday as well to Keisha Hale. Lekem Samaj, oh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday as well to Raymond DJ Venom Peart. Happy birthday Erica Riley, Gloria Williams, Marie Allen, Denise Lewis, Cornelia Lewis, Tashana Carey, Sasha Elliott, Carl Phillips. Happy birthday to all of you. Wishing for you a lovely day.
I have one here. Sending birthday wishes to Donald Brown, who celebrates his birthday today. You're a dedicated and kind dad. You are a dedicated husband, and you are one that brings joy to your family and to their lives. And this one is coming from Daniel, your one and only daughter, and your wife, and they're wishing you an amazing day and many, many, many more years of continued success and love and care, because you are the light of the family. Happy birthday, Donald. It's your birthday.
Arlene Rose sending belated happy birthday blessings to her friend Nadine Rose in Clarendon and living in the U.S. Her birthday was on August 15. So good morning to you, Lady Nadine Rose. Belated happy birthday blessings to you from your friend Arlene Rose.
Happy birthday to Godson Dominic Barnes. Auntie wishing you a wonderful day and God's richest blessings. As I am true 30. I don't know what the real name is. But Dominic Barnes, it's your birthday. Very special happy birthday going out to you from your aunt.
Sing this one, belated birthday greetings. This one says to my beautiful wife Hillary. Her birthday was yesterday. Let her know that today will be greater as we celebrate our first anniversary, coming from your husband Derek. So belated happy birthday greetings to Hillary from your husband Derek, and a happy anniversary to both of you, Hillary and Derek, celebrating their first anniversary today.
Eugene is saying happy birthday to my loving niece Ariana De Levante, celebrating her 9th birthday today. Stay sweet, princess. We love you loads. Greetings from the De Levante clan.
Happy birthday. Seeing as well, Richard sending belated happy birthday to his wife Latasha. Celebrated her birthday yesterday. Greetings are coming from your husband, children Rashid and Khalesia, and they're wishing for you more life, wealth, abundantly. So belated happy birthday greetings to Latasha from your lovely family.
Happy birthday greetings to nephew Adrian Leo Hayes. Auntie loves you. He celebrated his birthday on the 15th of August, but that's coming from Carlene Smith in the chat. Adrian Hayes, happy birthday to you.
Patrick Rose sending happy birthday to bestest ever cousin, or bestest cousin ever, Eileen Blair over there in Florida. She is a tower of strength to the Banton family. So Eileen Blair, good morning to you, Lady Eileen. It's your birthday today. And Patrick Rowe, who says you're his bestest cousin ever, is sending you happy birthday greetings, wishing for you a lovely one. Is it Charlene Headley sending happy birthday to her niece, Tai Tai. Good morning to you. It's your birthday, and it's coming from your auntie, Charlene Headley, saying to you, love you. Carrie Mark sending belated birthday wishes to Annalicia Williams, aka Destiny. Good morning to you, Destiny. Happy birthday to you. And Carrie Mark saying to you, lots of love. So belated birthday wishes to Annalicia Williams, aka Destiny. Seen this one here as well.
Yeah.
Olive Logan sending happy birthday wishes to her lovely dad. Happy birthday to you. It was on the 15th, so belated happy birthday greetings to you. Olive saying more grace on you, Dad, from your children. May you live to see many more. Love you, Dad, to the moon and back. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to everybody that celebrated their birthday today. It's August 17th. Of course, if you celebrate on the weekend as well and we didn't get around to you, we're wishing you a very, very special happy birthday from the Nationwide This Morning family. We want you to know that you are special to us because you're our family and we love you, and we're sending you the best greetings you can get in the entire world. And of course, if you celebrated an anniversary over the weekend, or you're celebrating your anniversary today, a very special anniversary to you, and we wish you all the love and joy, and that you enjoy it. You understand? Because we don't have the anniversary for celebrate just yet, but yeah, celebrate for us too. So enjoy your day, enjoy your day, enjoy your day. That's it for our birthday segment.
I'm seeing a final one here. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. SH is sending, is it Glojo Bo? Glojobo, Glojo Bo. A very happy birthday, lady. SH says, enjoy your day. So, Lady Glojo Bo, happy birthday.
I think it's Glojo B actually.
Oh, it's B?
Yeah, today it's somebody in the chat.
Oh,
it says today's birthday.
Oh, Glojo B. All right, got it. So, Glojo B, it's your birthday today. And SH and your NNN family sending you happy birthday greetings, wishing for you a great, great, great one.
Look how many prophets tried to open our eyes. You
And that's about it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide this morning. We really do appreciate your company. Thanks so much to our technical operator, Jermaine King, our super producer, Michelle McCrae Smith, and to our super editor in the newsroom, Kimon Thompson. Up next is the Consumer Hour, and at 10, Cliffy's Online with George. I'm Tona.
I'm Sondre. Good morning.
Mentally poisoned to fight with black
You've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
And bleaching at the inting, far out and far in. Sin, you tell me it's not about color, still you refuse. Take the picture.